This is for the sled dogs in the trenches. Real hockey parents, real stories. The good and the gong show. No filters, no sugarcoating, no politics. Just straight hockey talk and the best guests around the barn. Welcome to the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast. All right, boys, grind them corners, chirp responsibly, and bring that savage fire.
All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 71 of the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast, powered by Pacific Rink, the unfiltered podcast for hockey parents. No politics, no sugarcoating, just real talk for hockey parents in the trenches.
In the trenches.
Trenches.
Here we go, episode 71. And do we have an episode for you guys?
Yeah, Pee-wee.
Pee-wees. Yes. We have a great interview that we've been trying to get for
months on months.
I want to say nine.
Excellent.
9 months.
Yeah, it's 9 months.
It's a long time.
Yeah, but it was well worth it.
It was worth it. He was great.
Yeah, it was like an instant classic in my mind.
Yeah, I know. You as soon as we got off,
that was amazing.
Yeah,
you gotta do it again.
We could have gone. I know I say this a lot, but
you do say that a lot.
I do, but
you
we
say
could
that, and you also say we got to have you back on.
Well, we've talked to a lot of really good people who we
That's
do
true.
have to have back on, and we could have gone another gazillion hours with all these people.
100%.
Like 1-ish plus.
He would have been a
hours.
fun guy to watch the Knicks game with.
You're not wrong about that, by the way. I didn't even think about that.
Dude, that would have been sick.
I actually didn't even think about that. That's actually a very. He's a big sports guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, we have Pee-wee's author Rich Cohen on for our interview today. And for those of you who don't know the book Pee-wee's, shame on you, and you go get it. It's a phenomenal book about youth hockey. Rich is a writer. He's written a lot of sports books. He followed the 85 Bears around and wrote about them.
Wait, did he literally follow them around?
Oh, yeah. Well, you remember he's talking about Jim McMahon?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know that he actually was with them.
Oh, yeah. No, he was. He
was in the trenches with the Bears?
Yes.
Yes. So cool.
Yeah.
I loved McMahon when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was him and Joe Montana.
Yeah. How could you not?
And then Phil Sims.
Yeah. Yeah. Local boy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyway.
But, yes. But, yeah, no. So the book Pee-wee's Rich, he chronicled his son's Pee-wee year.
One of his boys. Yeah.
One of his boys, Pee-wee year. He has 4 boys, right? And he followed this particular one, his son Micah. And he wrote about it. And in my opinion, he was the original Crazy Hockey Dad.
Yeah, and he just had it in book form, not
put
audio form.
He just put it on paper.
Yeah.
So it was very appropriate for us to interview him. And like I said, we've been trying to get him for, it has to be 9-10 months.
Yeah, and it finally worked out.
And
it was well worth the wait.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and it's also cool, like, just talking to, like, an author and just, like,
yeah,
it's a slightly different type of, like, conversation.
Yes,
just
it was.
Like, there's, in any of, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it was great, though. I think you guys are gonna really enjoy the interview, and you guys need to go buy the book because the book's fantastic.
Well, listen, I think so speaking of the book, we are going to. It's not finalized yet, but as you know, we are going to be having some giveaways.
We are.
I don't know what shape or form it's going to be coming out as, but we're checking our Instagram, Facebook for more information.
Yes.
But we have our.
Some contests, right?
The contests, including we'll be giving away copies of Pee-wee's by Rich Cohen.
A couple copies of Pee-wee's,
and
right?
If I'm not mistaken, we do have a Pacific Rink bag.
We do. We have a Journeyman Pacific Rink bag
that we're going to be giving away,
which is mine and Scott's favorite bag to carry.
Yeah.
So yes, which is awesome. Any of you hockey moms or dads that travel for tournaments or anything, it's a phenomenal way to pack your clothes.
Yeah.
Yep. Should we do an unboxing on it when it comes? Should we do like an unboxing and then rebox it and send give it away?
No, we can let.
We can let.
Someone just
open their own stuff.
Yeah, we don't have to open it for them.
Creepy.
And then tape it.
That is a little creepy. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Yeah,
unless you're going to put in like a personalized note, perhaps you could do it for them.
So it's funny. So So Jack Sirkin from Pacific Rink, when he reached out to me to say, like, do you want us to send you a bag for you guys to do a giveaway? He wrote, so you don't have to give yours away. And I wrote back, I'm like, I would never give mine away.
They're great. They're great.
Yeah. So shout out to Jack and Brad Sirkin.
Yeah, this morning
from Pacific Rink.
This morning I was Otto and I played some pickup this morning. Got the little guy up at 5:20.
Right.
I was at the rink by 6.
Nice.
And then hit the ice at 6:30.
Whoa.
And
early morning.
It was good. And he did well. I mean, like, listen, it's pickup. It's early in the morning. It's not like anyone's going that hard,
right?
And like,
but still,
but like, you know what I noticed, like the last couple of times, like, and we haven't done it too often recently, but people are needing to like let up on him less and less.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely
they
moments.
see that he can play, and they see that they don't need to take it
So
easy,
at the end of the game, it was actually kind of funny. So he was coming down and he put the puck, like under like a dude's triangle, and then he picked up the puck, got a shot on goal, and then the rebound popped out and he's like stuffed it back.
That's funny.
And then it was towards the end of the skate, but like immediately after that, the goalie just skated off the ice.
He's like, I'm done.
and someone went up to Otto, like that was on our team. He goes, Otto, I think you just broke the goalie. It was really funny.
It is cool. That's fun.
But he has fun and he likes to do it. So
no, it's great, man.
But anyway,
fun.
what I was going to say was I was noticing that a couple of guys at the rink had Pacific Rink bags. Yeah. I've got like
now you have vision for
I got pack rink eyes.
That's
now.
right. Listen, for those of you who have not explored Pacific Rink yet, go check their stuff out. They make, in our opinion, the best hockey bag in the game. Period.
Stop. You mean?
Period. Stop.
Period. Stop.
Yes, and the Journeyman bag that we're going to give away again for any of you parents who travel for sports. Their Pacific Rink Journeyman bag is awesome.
Amazing.
Yes. I took it to a bunch of places. We took it to Lake Placid.
Yes, we did.
And I took it to Atlanta.
Yes, you did.
So easy to fly with too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, do not need to check it. Goes right in the overhead.
Perfect.
So easy.
Slam dunk. Speaking of slam dunks, let's give a little shout out to the Knicks.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yo.
That was wild. Yeah. I'm shocked that they won.
Why?
Because they haven't won it forever.
Fair, but like,
a long time,
it was bound to happen at some point.
At some point, yeah. I'm a Jet fan, so I'm not so sure about that.
It'll happen. You think
in my lifetime?
Will it? If it doesn't happen in your lifetime, will you be like on your deathbed, just like really bummed? Like, is this something that is that close?
I'm going to say that on my deathbed, I will probably not be thinking about the New York Jets. If I am, there's a bigger problem.
That's very
right?
reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that important to me, but I am not expecting the Jets to win a Super Bowl until Woody Johnson sells the team and Gary V buys it.
Okay.
I've said that before on this podcast. Gary V buys the Jets, they win a Super Bowl, period.
What if someone else buys the Jets?
Nope.
Only Gary V can do it?
Yep.
He's the only one that can reverse the voodoo?
I'm telling you. Gary V buys the Jets, they win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing else.
Well, I think you're probably...
Woody Johnson stays as the owner, or the Johnson family.
No go.
They'll never win a Super Bowl. Because the fish rots from the head down.
Mm-hmm. Is that the way it goes?
That's how it goes. That's what they say, at least.
Oh, okay. Who's they in that sentence?
They.
The fishermen?
They
that you hang out with?
They.
Yeah, they.
They say it.
Yeah, they do.
They. You want to hear something funny?
What?
I'll tell you something funny.
What?
So, you'll get a kick out of this. So Dominic had a, remember that pickup game they had 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
They had another one yesterday.
And we didn't even talk about that yesterday.
Yeah. A very last minute.
Yes.
Right?
But I didn't even ask you about it. So tell.
Okay. So that same team reached out to us from Brewster, New York, and they said, you want to bring whoever is available to come up and play.
Yeah.
So we played them again. We had 6 forwards and 4D.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. The kids were gassed at the end.
Yeah, yes. but that's perfect.
Every other shift they went on.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So no, I'm sure they liked that. Although in the third period they looked a little heavy.
I'm sure.
The legs were not coming up as much as they did in the first 2 periods. So I'm in the stands talking to one of our goalie dads.
Yeah.
Okay. And he obviously listens to the podcast, and he was talking about the episode with Ben Sire from Princeton, Princeton head coach, which was 69. Episode 69?
Yes,
right.
correct.
So if you haven't checked that out, go check Ben Sire out, Princeton head coach. Awesome interview.
Go Tigers.
Episode 69. So he's sitting there talking to me, and he's asking about. Remember how Coach Sire brought up John Gordon, the author of Hard Hat,
Yes,
and Energy Bus.
yes.
So he mentioned it to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like I read those books forever ago, and he goes, Jamie, he goes, did you read them or did you listen to them?
Aha! Exactly. Exactly.
Well, he was just saying it because he obviously heard our episode and he heard you busting my balls about me listening to them, not reading them.
Yeah.
But he said that I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You didn't read them.
Shout out Johnny Mac.
Yeah. You see, Johnny, we're on the same page, brother.
So I thought you'd get a a kick out of that.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah. So Johnny Mac, you see, he said it to me yesterday.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for Johnny.
Yeah. But the game was.
What is it?
I mean, we lost 2-1.
You lost?
We lost.
Womp womp.
Listen, the goalie stood on his head.
Which one?
The other team's goalie.
Was it the
Our
same-
goalies were good too. Don't get me wrong.
Was this the same goalie that you played last time? But they brought in a ringer because that does happen.
I'm like, so this team. They did it the first time too. They brought kids that are not on their fall team.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So apparently one of the parents said that they did this again yesterday.
Yeah.
I was not paying
But who
attention.
cares,
It doesn't
ultimately?
matter.
No.
It's a scrimmagey type thing. It wasn't important. It
Yeah.
wasn't, But it was just for the kids to go out there and have fun and fuck around, right?
Yeah.
And their goalie played well. The goalie kept
Good.
We shot the puck on him a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
Right, and he kept the puck out of the net. But it's funny. Like I was talking to Nancy, and Dominic is having this it's like every other year he has like a major issue. Like 2 years ago it was his skating.
Yeah.
So now the skating looks better, but now his hands and his shot on the ice are what's the word I'm looking for? They are I won't say they're definitely inconsistent, but they're sloppy. Mm-hmm. Right? Like he loses the puck a lot.
Yeah.
When he's stick handling.
Is he overstick handling?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But and the shot is like the puck's floating toward the net again. It's not on. So sometimes it goes on a line. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if Dominic's getting in his own head.
Yeah.
Or what.
Yeah.
But every other year, Dominic has an issue with mechanics or something. I'm noticing, and I'm pretty sure it's mostly mental. That's my guess.
Okay. He is a growing kid, so limbs could be different lengths.
So you're not
shit like that.
I thought that as well. I thought that could be because he is growing.
Yeah.
He keeps. Whenever Dominic's heel hurts him, he has this thing called Sever's disease. I think you call it. So Sever's disease. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, right? It's the growth plate in the heel.
Yep.
And when you do impact sports and you're pounding on it, right? It starts to hurt, especially when the growth plate is open and the kid's growing, right. So every once in a while, his heel hurts him. So he is growing because he's been saying that his heel and his shins are hurting him.
Okay.
So he's obviously growing, right? And he is getting bigger. I mean, the kid, I can't keep the kid.
How much weight did he put on since he started Parisi last year until now?
That's actually a very good question.
Did it even go up? It must have gone up.
He did go up. Yeah. No, there's no question about it. He probably put on I would say 8 to 10 pounds of muscle.
No shit.
Yeah. No,
Good
I think I want to say when he went in, he was 100 pounds, and now he's 111, something like that.
Okay.
So no, and he looks physically bigger.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. He's also hitting puberty, so everything is kind of growing.
Yeah.
Right. Parisi helped.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yep.
Right. All the workouts that he's been doing is definitely helping. Yeah. So he's growing. So he is getting longer. So I'm not sure if it's that issue or if it's a confidence issue or if it's a whatever. But the problem with Dominic is that when things, and I'm sure some of our listeners have this problem with their kids too, when he flubs a shot toward the net,
Yep.
he gets down on himself. He gets pissed.
Yeah, sure.
And we're trying to teach him to not get pissed. Easier said than done.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, definitely easier said than done. Listen, it'll come with time. I really think
hope so. I hope so.
It's not a guarantee.
I hope so.
But look, I
hope so.
I don't know. It's part of it's a maturity thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess we're gonna find out.
Who were we talking about? Who was I talking to about this? Maybe it was you, or maybe it was even on the last podcast. Who was just talking about the commencement speech with Roger Federer.
Oh, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
No.
Yeah, he did a commencement speech, and it was pretty much, he asked like the audience. Oh, it was my brother-in-law yesterday. And he was like at some commencement speech, and I could be like, messing it up. I didn't hear it myself, but he was just telling me, and like, so it's anecdotal, but
Right.
that he asked like, the audience or the crowd or like the graduates or whomever, like, what percentage of my shots do you think that I won my lifetime? This is like arguably the greatest player to ever play the game, right?
Can I guess?
Yeah, I guess. And I could, the stat could be wrong
Out of all of his matches, the percentage of
points
that he won and lost. These are the ones that he won.
Yeah, just what percent did he win?
I'm gonna say like 51 or 52%.
Very close. If my brother-in-law was recalling correctly, 54%.
Okay, right.
But he won 80% of his matches or something like that.
No, she's a tremendous tennis player.
So
tremendous.
So, and it's like the same thing like Michael Jordan says, like how many shots did he miss?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's true.
So like once you have like this like understanding and whatever, like, with baseball too, what percentage, like, guys that are like getting hitting the ball a lot, what's their batting percentage?
I mean, today, today in baseball, like a guy that hits 300 is like a unicorn. Like, you don't have guys hitting 300. You have a handful of guys hitting 300 anymore. And those guys are basically Hall of Famers now.
And those are like, so we're not talking
and
about
you're succeeding 3 out of 10 times.
3 out of 10 times.
Which is not a lot.
Right. So the whole point is that like you're going to miss a lot more than you're going to make.
Yeah.
So once you come to terms with this and you understand that, I think that there's like, perhaps you don't get as angry.
My child or me?
Your child. No, but like, no.
I'm
talking about generally speaking.
So how do you tell that to a fucking 14-year-old?
What do you mean? You don't even have to. Just let him listen to Roger Federer. And just
Fair.
be like, dude, this is the greatest player, or one of the greatest players of all time.
I see. I've shown him those videos. I've shown him those videos about Michael Jordan saying like he lost more than he won and yada yada yada, right, or whatever it was, or he missed a gazillion shots. I agree with you.
But and listen, you can get mad. But we tell our kids this all the
it's
time.
Also what you do.
What you do with it. What are you going to do with it, dude?
Right. If you slam your stick and you stop skating,
you're going to be a shithead. Then get off the ice.
That 100%.
You're going to be a shithead. Get off the ice.
I tell them all the time. I go, get the fuck off the ice. I go, get off the ice. You're gonna pout and complain. Get off the ice.
100%.
Get off the ice. Let somebody on that's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And
that's all. Yeah. Like and that's why I think like the effort piece is also like oftentimes tied to like confidence and tied to
it is
like the stories that kids tell themselves, like if you really think that like you can get the puck back from someone, you're probably gonna slam on the brakes and like get it back. But if you're like if you're defeated, if you're giving yourself negative self-talk
and you're
like,
giving up basically on the play,
then you see
what the hell good is that?
No,
you're no good for anybody.
No good for anybody.
Literally, you're no good for anybody.
You lose the puck, you go on. What's my job now? Your job is to get that fucking thing back.
And that's what I keep waiting to see my kid do that. I have not seen it yet.
You're not the only one, dude.
It's an awful feeling, Scott.
Yeah.
It's an awful feeling.
You know what like pissed me off today?
What?
And like this is...
Was this in the game this morning you guys played?
Yeah. And it's, I think Topher and like they have a lot of sayings, on their podcast. One of them is like, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes.
And I'm watching, so Otto made a great pass to spring a guy in a breakaway this morning. And I'm just watching, and like it was the guy's on a breakaway. There's 1D trailing him, trying to like catch, back check and pick him up.
Yeah.
And like Otto lets off the gas. I'm like, dude, you got to crash the net, bro. Like, what good are you on the blue line if the puck is sitting in the slot and like someone blows a tire and it's just sitting there? Listen, like, give me a break, bro.
You got to be in the right position.
But like that type of stuff, like,
I know it's
where
awful.
I just want to see stops and starts. I just want to see you get after it. I just want to see you like
stops and starts. By the way, that's a very good point. As opposed to just helicopter turning, actually like put on the brakes and go the other direction.
Stops and starts.
Yeah, exactly. And stops and starts are. I think Jimmy Dad said stops and starts are huge.
Of course, they're
Jimmy
huge.
Dad that said that, but my kid doesn't stop and start. My kid just helicopter turns.
No, stops and starts.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy.
It was interesting. So a guy that we played pickup with this morning.
Yeah,
apparently played in the East Coast Hockey League.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he was good.
Yeah.
No doubt. And I don't know how far.
How old of a guy is he now?
He's definitely old. He's
30, 40?
No, I would say in his 40s probably.
Okay.
But he's it's like the thing that is just so obvious playing against someone that's played at that level. and I'm sure he was going like at a fraction of what he could probably have done with us, but it's just like when you hear people like the broadcasters talk about details and like when you're playing against someone who has all the details dialed in, it's like just like the positioning and like with the puck, without the puck, like going wide, how are you getting your, like you're just boxing out, like where your stick, it just,
he just plays the game the right way.
But like all, like
I know
it's almost like he handcuffs you with like everything you try to do just because he's got like all the details dialed in.
And it's probably all on autopilot with him.
No doubt. And it's just like
all just second. It's just like it's just force of habit. Like he just does it.
Right. Everything is tight. Everything is controlled. Everything is like with purpose.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Yeah. I'm sure it looks awesome too.
It's yes, it does.
You were playing against him or he's on your team?
No, he was. Yeah, it was just like a pickup. He was on the other team, but like, it was cool to play against him. Just to kind of see some of it. But the details are dialed.
Did he come down on you on a breakaway? No,
but he got around. He beat me wide. And then he ended up going back, hitting someone backdoor for a goal.
Oh, where was the offside defenseman?
Well, when you play pickup at like 6:30 in the morning, like
so he was sleeping with his coffee.
No, he was probably still trying to score a goal on the other end.
He was on the other side of the ice,
dude. We play with this guy. I won't say his name, but like he's a little older also, and he plays defense. But like if you were to look at his heat map for the game, like as
he's
a defense,
in one area, he's in the neutral zone.
No. Like as a defenseman, like it is flaming red behind the offensive goal. Like the opposing goal.
He's over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's the defenseman that played. He like sets up shop behind the other, like in Gretzky's office.
I was going to say, he thinks he's like Cale Makar.
No, he doesn't. But he definitely is.
He tries to be Cale Makar.
He takes liberties in the offensive zone.
So the other defenseman has to be like the stay-at-home guy.
I mean, you need like your center to then become your defenseman.
Yeah, yes, or the winger to drop back, right?
It doesn't matter. But that's the thing of like, pick up in the morning is like, people's back check is not exactly. Listen, and then the annoying thing is, and then you have people that just kind of like hang, and they're looking to get sprung on a breakaway,
right?
Because they know that one of the defensemen is like pinching up. It's like at the same time, also, it's like as annoying as it is sometimes if defensemen are just playing offense the whole game. It's like at the same time if you're like also having people just hanging and like pickup. It's like, come on, guy.
Yeah, that's true. I could see that a lot in pickup, especially at that time of the morning, by the way.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
What, getting up that early?
Yeah. To play what time were you up?
I got up at 5.
Oh, that's not bad.
No,
the Sunday. Oof.
The Sunday one's better. The timeline. The Saturday one is like it's a 5:30 start. So it's like a 4 o'clock wake.
Oh, even earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you local? How far from the rink?
No, it's 20 minutes. The Palisades.
Oh, the mall. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. Nice, man. Very cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
We actually didn't know our partner. Should we do that? Should we roll into that right now?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so we'll take care of a little business. So, Howie's Hockey.
Crazy 10.
Crazy 10. Go check out howieshockey.com for any laces, tape, candles, scissors. Stacy's son's favorite, is it blue t-shirt or is it yellow?
Blue.
It is blue, isn't it? It is blue.
Yeah. I should get a yellow t-shirt.
I don't think it's yellow.
I need a yellow one.
You do need a yellow one.
I do.
They actually have really cool vintage looks.
Yeah,
like that's my favorite stuff that they have.
Is it?
So go check out howieshockey.com. Use the code crazy10 for 10% off your Howie's Hockey gear.
That's right. And as many of us have kids that are already finished with school, are finishing school, at least here in the Northeast, it's time to get your training done in the garage, at the local schoolyard, in the backyard. We're talking about off-ice speed, strength, agility. We're talking about in the garage, on the tiles, stick handling. Got to get after it using hockeytraining.com and check out Coach Kevin on Instagram, Hockey Training HQ. And he's got an awesome library of videos that are all geared to improve performance on the ice with your off-ice stick handling, speed, strength, agility training. So check it out. Coach Kevin at hockeytraining.com.
Nice. And then we got Titan Battle Gear. So Scott and I trust our kids in Titan Battle Gear. Go to titanbattlegear.com or check the link in our show notes, which is TitanBattleGear.com/Crazy Hockey Dads. Use the code CrazyDads10 for 10% off your Titan Battle Gear. Again, Scott and I have our kids in it. We think it's the best stuff on the market. So they now have their cut-resistant base layer 3.0 out. So go check out their
Swanky.
styles. Not only is it the most protection on the market, but it also looks insane. They have some unbelievable...
Insanely good, you mean?
Yeah, it looks
of
insane.
course.
Yes. No, they have some unbelievable colors and styles. Obviously, you can just go with the straight black. You can go with the camo, or you can get a little creative and you can go with the Miami pink and white. I mean, they have, or the palm trees. Dom's got the palm trees, although he just grew out of it because, again, my child is growing like a weed. But yeah, they have awesome stuff. Go check out the stuff at TitanBattleGear.com. Use the code CrazyDads10 for 10% off your Titan Battle Gear.
Yes. And moving on to Athletic Performance Insight. Coaches, managers, anyone thinking about introducing video analytics to your team this season, please check out Athletic Performance Insight. Go to their website, fill out the contact form, and we, Eric will get a demo done for you. He will happily break down a game for you. I'm sure of it. But his platform has all the other under the hood analytics, and his team can break down tape for you and your team, and you can go over, situational gameplay, offsides, failures, breakout failures, breakouts, successful breakouts, all the things that you might want to look at from as young as mites all the way up to college. But Athletic Performance Insight is a wonderful platform to introduce your team to help them with their off-ice hockey IQ learning.
Yes. All right, but that was good. That was actually really good reads. We're getting good at this.
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah. Well,
we've been doing it long enough, for Christ's sake.
You get some repetitions.
That's for sure. But and thank you to all of our new listeners, by the way. We have all of a sudden.
But listen, hold on. Before we thank the listeners, we also need to mention
thank ourselves.
No, BJD, son.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
No,
our
BJD.
awesome intro, BJD. Sorry, BJD. Go check out Big John Dangle's Instagram. He does our intro, and we love it. So go check out Big John Dangles on Instagram. You may be surprised at what you see. If you just hear it, you may be surprised at what you see on the other side when you see it live.
Listen, if he's listening right now, I am officially requesting a 6-pack of Dangle Juice. I just...
Listen,
I need a six pack of Dangle Juice.
I'm not gonna lie. I also want the AAA blinged out thing around the neck.
It's baller.
I will wear that on the podcast if it comes.
That would be baller.
And I'll wear it on the first podcast, and I'll hang it behind me.
Yeah.
For the rest of
be sick
for the rest of our podcast, however long that goes.
I'm gonna CHD grills. How ridiculous!
That would be ridiculous.
Can you imagine how ridiculous that would be?
That would be pretty interesting looking.
That would be ridiculous.
That really would be.
In a bad way, probably.
Well, hey, listen. But yeah, but thank you, Big John Dangles. Go check his Instagram out. Big John Dangles on Instagram. Like I said, he has some really cool stuff.
Yeah, man.
Very
So,
cool.
and you were saying thank you to listeners, a lot of new listeners.
Yeah. Thank you we have a bunch of new people that have found the podcast. Our social media seems to be cranking along. So welcome all you new people that just found us on our social medias and all you new people that started listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it. Could not do this without you.
Definitely not.
If you like what you're hearing, go leave a review on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to us on, because it really helps us in the Instagram algorithm, or not the Instagram, and the podcast algorithm ranking system. Whatever it is.
It just helps.
Whatever that is, it just helps. So thank you so much for doing it in advance. Yeah, man.
Good stuff.
So we got a lot of new people that have been finding us, which is pretty awesome.
No, it's really great. Facebook's blowing up.
Yes.
Love it. Check us out. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever.
Wherever is right.
So you got some hockey under your belt, which is nice.
We did.
Otto is going to play in a tournament this coming weekend.
Right.
He's got a couple of games. He's excited to, have some games. It's,
sweet. Yeah, the games are fun for him.
He hasn't, it'll be the first game will be the first time like this group has been on the ice together. And, it's definitely meant to be, more teachable moments. That's at least the coaching staff's mission, like going into
So that's what they're saying to you.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Do you think it's just a selling feature?
Oh, well, listen, I'm going to find out.
Well, let me know. Curious.
Yeah, I'll talk to Otto and see what kind of feedback and instruction he gets on the bench. Hopefully,
I'm curious
It's a lot
myself.
for him to think about, and like he goes out there and actually tries to execute some things that maybe he's not used to executing.
Right.
So whatever, that'll be interesting. But I'm just happy that he's going to be on the ice in a game situation. It's been a minute, and he's looking forward to it. So
Nice.
happy for him.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but other than that,
great.
he hasn't no like clinics, no.
No skating.
Like really not that much. I mean, like
Okay.
I feel like I've been talking out of both sides of my mouth.
Right.
But like they've had a few practices, his team practices, but there's only been a handful. He finished up.
You're still doing team practices.
He had one last week.
No shit.
I don't know if that was the last one. We might have one more.
We've been done with that for a while.
They purposely pushed it down the road.
Did they?
Yeah,
We've been
that
done
was
for
intentional.
a while, like a long while.
Yeah, no, he had practice last
practice-wise.
week, and then I think he's got another. Maybe I don't know about this coming week, but
Okay.
at this point, like no clinics, we haven't been dropping in anywhere really.
No.
It's just been like,
Right.
like once a week has been on the ice
Right.
the last couple
Okay.
weeks.
All right. Well, just once.
Yeah, so he was on the like twice a week when he was doing a spring clinic.
Right.
That came to an end, and then it was like once a week with his team practice.
Okay.
And then, when the summer comes around, he's in a few camps that's like
Right.
for a couple hours, except for Princeton. The hockey that he's enrolled in is just like a couple hours in the morning here and there.
Right.
So it looks like on the calendar, there's a lot of hockey.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
ultimately,
yeah.
it's not like these are full days of hockey camp.
No,
either,
no.
you know what I mean?
I
It's
think they're
like-
on the ice in the morning for an hour and a half, and in the afternoon for an hour and a half, or something along those
Yeah,
lines in camp, right? And then they take them to the pool, and they take them to like bounce around outside, and
Yeah,
they
it's
take them to
perfect.
like off a lot of off ice stuff outside. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
No, me too. And I
Yeah.
also, I walked by the other day, so Otto,
Go check out PrincetonHockeyCamps.com.
Is that the website?
I think so. Yeah.
You're just throwing a .com at the
No,
end of
no,
your
seriously.
sentence.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up. But I'm pretty sure Princeton.
It's in the show
Camps-
notes, episode 69.
It is in the show notes. Yes, you put it in episode 69. That's right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Am I right about this? Shit. What I say there was?
You said Princeton Sports Hockey Camp.
Well, no, what'd I say?
I don't know.
Did I say PrincetonSportsCamps.com?
Maybe.
It's PrincetonSportsCamps.com.
Okay. Well, if that's in fact what you said,
that really
you
what I
did
said?
it right. Maybe.
Well, I corrected it then if I didn't do it right.
Well, either way.
So check out PrincetonSportsCamps.com. We need to sell out the hockey camp.
It's not sold out.
I think when we had Coach Sire
He
on,
said there's a few spots.
He said there was a handful of spots. So
Yeah.
go to PrincetonSportsCamps.com and
Yo,
put your,
are you
enroll
on
your kids
Princeton's
in-
payroll?
Maybe. Either that or I'm just a big fan.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan.
Yeah. So
Gonna get you a tiger tail that you can wear around
They
town.
are the D1 program in our state.
That's true.
So I have to support them. I just happen to be taking Dominic there since he's like 6.
Yeah.
So we've been going for quite some time. I listen, and I like the town of Princeton.
Yeah, I know you do.
We stay at the Nassau Inn over on Nassau Street is it Palmer Square? I think it's called.
I don't know.
Yeah. So if you guys ever go to Princeton, check out the Nassau Inn it's in Palmer Square, right on Nassau Street, or right off of Nassau. It's basically right on the border of the campus. You stare at the campus.
Can you blow me where the Pampers is?
PCU?
Can you
Jeremy
blow
Piven when
me
he was
where
younger.
the Pampers is? Can you show me
Where the
campus is?
It's a great movie. Great movie. That was very appropriate.
Speaking of like being like really high.
Yeah. They were supposed to talk about Revenge of the Nerds now. That's what I feel like we're supposed to talk about.
No.
When they go to
Although,
school.
I loved that movie. When I was a kid, I loved it.
Great movie.
But Ogre.
I was just going to say that. It's
Yeah.
so funny you said that. I was thinking the same thing.
No, but so there was
Ogre Louie.
I saw a clip of Avery.
Yeah.
Sean Avery. I think there's a podcast, Puck Stories. I think that's a podcast.
Okay.
Anyway, so it was a clip on YouTube, and he was saying how when he had first started, he was playing for the Red Wings.
Right.
And Brett
Is that
Hull.
where he started?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that was where
I
he
didn't know
started. Red Wings, Brett Hull. Right. And so Brett Hull was on the team, and Brett Hull took him under his wing.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And so I think he lived at Brett Hull's like house, but maybe like there was like a detached garage, and he lived above the garage, or maybe it doesn't matter.
Something like that, yeah,
Something,
I got
something
you.
like that. I don't know. So apparently Hull had gone up to Avery's like room or whatever, and there was a kitchen maybe there somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
Avery, and so he wasn't there, but like Halt like ate like a couple brownies out of his refrigerator.
Oh
and
my
they were
goodness.
like pot brownies.
Yeah, that's
and
what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, and apparently
he was all banged up.
Apparently, like I think Avery said something along the lines of like Hull, like Hull's wife was saying that he was lying in their closet just doing snow angels.
So it's funny. Speaking of that, we didn't talk about it with Rich Cohen when we were interviewing him for Pee-wee's. But there's a passage in Pee-wee's where one of the hockey dads from his son's team gives him gummies, marijuana gummies, and he's like fucked up for like 3 days. It's actually a really good passage in the book. I don't remember. It's earlier on in the book, I think. So it's funny you said that, and it just kind of reminded me of a passage from Pee-wee's. With our interview Rich Cohen today. Very good stuff. So that's Sean Avery. Interesting.
Totally interesting.
Should we roll into I feel like we should roll into our interview now that
let's
a passage from it. I feel like that's appropriate.
Okay, let's kick it over.
All right, everybody enjoy Rich Cohen, the author of the book Pee-wee's.
All right, everybody. Welcome to our next guest on the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast. We have the one and only Rich Cohen, author of Pee-wee's, Confessions of a Hockey Parent. I know a ton of you out there have read the book, myself included, Jamie included, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have you on, Rich. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Our pleasure.
So I'm curious, Rich. Tell us like what you're doing today, kind of how you started writing Pee-wee's, and then we'll dive into you as a kid and you as a player.
All right, well, I'm not a hockey writer, obviously. I'm a nonfiction writer mostly. I've written a lot of books about all different subjects, and the only thing that unites them is there's something I was just super, super interested in exploring and writing about and thought was good material. The reason I wrote Pee-wee's is because when I was those couple of seasons, it was so intense. I haven't cared about anything that deeply since I was like 15 years old, I was trying to get a girl to go with me to the prom. I mean, it was like the experience was so intense. I'm like, this is the most intense thing happening in my life right now. This is the richest material in my life, and this is what I want to write about. I should say the book is called Pee-wee's. When I sold it to my editor, it was first called Squirts.
Oh,
you write about the Squirts season, but as I was starting to get ready to write it, the Pee-wee season was unfolding, and I'm like, the Pee-wee season was nuts, man. This is like, and it was. I thought I ended up thinking it was super interesting because when you write something, usually you have a lot of things, information, but you haven't processed, you haven't thought about what it means. But when you write about it, you start thinking about it. And it felt like a microcosm of everything right and everything wrong about America at that time. And one thing that was super interesting, which is why I started the book with the cars in the parking lot, is there's this huge mix of different economic status. Some people are very successful. Some people are just hanging on. Some people are coming in pickup trucks. Some people coming like a Tesla,
Ferrari,
Like, who the hell's car is that? I saw a guy pull up at a hockey rink in Darien, Connecticut, like in a clown car, like a funny car from like the Demolition Derby, where the top comes up like that. So anyway, it was just, and I cared way too much about it, and I made every single emotional mistake that a parent can make. Even though I knew it was a mistake, I couldn't help myself. It was like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing.
We know all about them.
Totally get that.
I mean, sometimes I drive by the rink still because I live right near the rink, and I sort of get a cold shiver as I go by, and I think of all the good and bad things that happen in that rink.
Do you miss it? I'm curious.
I do miss it. First of all, I hate I grew up playing hockey, and I grew up in a very cold place, but I hate the winter. I hate being cold. And it's dark and it's cold and the days are short. And my son's hockey life gave the winter a meaning, man. It made me look forward to the winter, and it carried me through the winter. It organized the winter, so it made life in winter much better and more interesting. So I do miss it.
That That makes so much sense, and just putting it that way, like, is like, yeah, that's so spot on. And I'm just wondering, and I'm thinking about my own childhood and when I would play and go to the pond, and we'd go there right after school, just so you could get as much daylight before the sun went down, and for you, when did well, we're going to jump around a little bit because we want to hear about like your own hockey playing history. But since we're talking about your son at the moment, like when did he start playing? Like how many years of hockey did you have under your belt with him?
Well, it's funny because I have 4 sons, and
Okay.
we have a big gap. I say second family, first wife. There's a gap
Mm.
between. There's like a 8-year gap between actually when our youngest, who's 10 years old, was born. The next youngest one asked him, "I still the youngest?" And I said, "You'll always be the youngest of Group A." So, but basically, I moved from the city where I'd been working in magazines to Connecticut. I lived right down the road from a rink. I started playing adult hockey, and my oldest son, I really tried to get him involved in hockey. I coached, and I was trying to get him to do stuff, and it was just like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Sylvester cartoon where they try to get a cat to take a bath. It was just freaking impossible. Like, and I was on the ice with him sometimes as a little kid, and I would get really mad. I would get mad at him. Like, and I remember once before they had goalies, like the youngest year,
Yeah.
he was standing around where the goal would be. And I said, "What were you doing? You just standing there." He said, "I was protecting." I was like, "What were you protecting? Protecting what?"
You said in the book. That was in their book.
Yeah, you said in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
I gave up. It was like, this is not working. And so I sort of put all this stuff in the garage. And then our youngest of Group A, he said he wanted to play hockey. And I said, "Well, the stuff's in the garage." And I completely ignored him. And this is in the book, which is he started to play, and I wasn't really paying attention at all. I thought, and then one day I went to pick him up and he was late. So I went inside and there was some kid like skating through everybody, making an unbelievable play. And I said, "Who the hell is that?" And I'm like, "That's my kid."
That
And
was Micah, right? That was Micah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And I got excited. It was like, okay, now I'm like an agent. Now I have something I can work with,
It sucked you back in. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like 5 or 4 or 5. He was like, whatever the thing is before mites, whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's like like mini mites or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know
Learn
what you
to
call
play
it.
or whatever.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
And then
it
he
is.
played mites, and then there was like a travel team for mites, which was ridiculous. So, and then they started dividing him up, and all these different things. And the divisions were arbitrary. I thought the divisions were based on the parents' friend groups. Like I would see kids not make a team because they didn't like the mother and didn't want to hang out with her. And I got it. I understood it at a social level. But so there were some kids that were really, really good on the wrong team, not my kid. And it kind of was really weird because hockey, you start to realize when you watch it as a parent, you see it in a different way and you realize how important it is to play with kids at the same level. It's like musicians playing with musicians who can play. A team with a bunch of mediocre players almost would beat a team with one really good player and a bunch of mediocre players and one really bad player because they couldn't play together. They were all at different speeds. Couldn't pass to each other, So it was interesting because it made me, even though one thing I like about hockey is a sport for kids, I always thought it's still recognizably hockey at every single level. Like I could see an NHL game and a kid's game and I still recognize it as the same sport. When you see kids playing football, it's not the same sport, something different,
Right.
And even baseball is kind of not quite the same sport, but hockey's hockey all the way through.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So let's jump back to you as a kid and how you fell in love with the sport. So tell us about like where you started, what age, and where you finished.
Well, you said that you played hockey in the 90s. Is that right?
He did.
I
Scott
did.
played.
I did, yeah.
I never played. He did.
This is a sign of my age. I was playing in the 70s. 70s
Right
and
on.
80s. I started in
Let's
the
go.
70s. So, by the way, it's just like my son. I was on a team, a mite hockey team that won the state championship. And we have the picture. I have the picture still of the team. And I look like I'm about to cry, okay, in the picture. And I know why. I still remember why, which is
What?
the shortest kid on the team went on the left, and the second shortest went on the right on the bottom row. And the coach looked at both me and this kid that I thought was shorter than me and said to me, "You're the shortest. You go to the left. You go to the right." And in the picture, I look like I'm going to cry, and he looks like he just won the lottery. You know? So I grew up in Illinois. And my brother, I have a big brother, and he started playing I think my dad knew nothing about hockey, which was an advantage because my dad was a basketball coach. And if you wanted to play any kind of basketball, he would coach you and drive you crazy and hide one arm back and make you run wind sprints and shoot from one exact spot and teach you how to shoot a hook shot and come to the game and yell at you and all that stuff. But hockey, he's like, I don't even know. And then also he was separated by glass. You know, he couldn't get at you. He couldn't yell at you. You couldn't hear him. I would say my dad only came to one hockey game in my whole life, and he yelled at that game when I got knocked down, "Get up, you're not hurt." That was the extent of his involvement.
All right.
So I just started going to the rink. There was nothing to do. It was in Illinois. Hockey was a smaller sport in America. Not as many kids played. We had travel hockey because you had to travel to play other kids that were serious about it. We had a house league, which was really good. The house league isn't vibrant like it was. The house league was really good, but then you travel. And when I grew up, we still had the rink that we were on was an outdoor rink originally, and it didn't have glass. It still had a chain link fence. And they put the glass. But at first, it had a chain link fence. You wore half masks, like shields. In spring league, we didn't wear masks. Played without masks.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And I'm 57, and we had mouth guards, exterior mouth guards. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they would go on the outside of your face. And one of the things, they had this little notch in them, and you'd always stick your tongue through it because you kind of felt the texture. My brother doing that bit his tongue in half during a hockey game.
No.
And they didn't even blow the whistle. He just
ushered him off to the bench.
He was kind of like, and he came off, and they took him to the hospital, and they stitched his tongue back on. So,
no way. That's
anyway,
unbelievable.
He would go to the rink. I was a little brother. I would go with him, and I was with the other little brothers, and we would play, hockey with tape balls in the locker room. Like that was my best sport, probably tape ball hockey. And then whenever I was 5 years younger, sometimes they would need an extra body. I would probably like the young Tony Esposito or something, I would get pulled out and thrown out on the ice with these older kids. And I started playing, in that way, just getting picked up and pulled into games all the time. And I remember when my brother actually taught me to skate. I think this is in the book too, which is I went out on the ice and I was like kind of skating on my ankles. Right. And my brother knew the guy who did the Zamboni, and I had this fear of the Zamboni was going to run me over. It's one of my biggest fears. So my brother got the guy in the Zamboni to actually take the Zamboni out and kind of ride behind me. And I got so scared that I immediately got up and was like a rocket. And my nickname was Rocket because of Maurice Richard. My name is Richard, but also because I was so fast, especially on that occasion, because of fear. So for me, the love of hockey has always also been associated with the fear of death, getting run over by the Zamboni. And then I just started playing. It was the Deerfield Falcons in suburban Illinois.
Yeah.
And that's where, I played and whatever. I just played one way or another up until I went through high school and in college. I actually played a year in college. I didn't play. I went to Tulane, so there's no hockey. Actually, it's interesting because I wanted to play club hockey at Tulane, and they said there was club hockey and there was a rink. And when I got there, they said the rink had been destroyed over the summer by a hurricane.
Oh,
no. That's what I thought you were going to say.
So later, my son, who didn't go to Tulane, was applying, and he asked if they had any hockey, and they said yes. And then later, he didn't go there. He heard that the rink had been destroyed over the summer in a hurricane. So I think that's what they tell all the kids from the Northeast and the Midwest.
No.
Oh, is that funny? They told you both the same thing.
Yes, that there was a rink and the rink was destroyed in a hurricane. But I went abroad to Oxford, England, like on an abroad program, and they had open tryouts for the Oxford hockey team. And me and this other kid who went to Denison, who was really good, we went and tried out, thinking we were going to be like the best hockey players because they are kids from England who don't play hockey. They play soccer or rugby or whatever. But of course, we got there and they were all Rhodes Scholars from Canada or whatever who were Division I hockey players who were in graduate school. And that was like the best hockey players I'd ever played with.
Wow.
And it was really
That's-
fun and really cool to play there, but it was like a game beyond where I could keep up with them. They were just, whole different level.
But you were on the team. You were on that Oxford team.
Yeah, I got the
right?
jersey, man. I got the jersey, and Rob Lowe had a movie out called Oxford Blues, and it was very cool. And it was like 4 a.m. You got to wake up with your bag and walk through Oxford in the dark and go play. It was very cool. It's very.
It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, so after, so did you stay connected to the game, like in between, like when you kind of like hung it up, if you will, and then like fast forward to when you had kids?
Because the whole time, my brother's older than me. He came to New York.
Yeah.
He had basically joined an adult league hockey team and then somehow took the team over. Okay. And the team was, my brother worked at the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York, but the team was a district attorney's office. And somehow he got on that team. These are not connected. And then he, through the force of will, personality, maybe some degree of bullying, he took over the team. So he brought me onto that team.
Nice.
And there's actually a guy who you should have on who has a hockey book coming out called Nick Baumgarten.
Okay.
And, he was on that team. Like at the end, I'm older. I was on at the beginning, and at the very end. Do you guys know who another writer is named Ben McGrath? He wrote about hockey too. He writes for the New Yorker, but I brought him onto the team.
That sounds familiar, Ben McGrath.
He was a good hockey player, but he was like 15 years younger than everybody. So he was like, we brought him onto the team, and we won the championship because of him. And at that point, I basically hung it up because, first of all, the games were sometimes, this is in New York at Chelsea Piers, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes the games were like at midnight.
Yeah.
Totally.
So you get home like at 3 a.m. Okay, that was bad enough. Then my brother was using me as an example of what not to do. Okay. So he was blaming me he's like, you see what my brother did? My brother totally messed that up. Do not do that. Okay. Or I would look what he's doing. He's not even hustling. Look at my brother. He doesn't even work. So I would get home like at 3 a.m. and I was really pissed, man. I would come over there, damn it, and then I couldn't fall asleep till like 6 a.m. So it took me like a week to recover. Like I had to hold it all nighter, and I was angry a lot of it. So, and then I saw this great thing, and it's in the book because it's one of the greatest things I saw in my life, which is we were in a game. It's like 1 a.m. and a guy on our team got a penalty, rightly, tripped somebody. They sent him into the box, and he's screaming at the ref. It's 1 a.m, screaming at the ref, adult league hockey. And he says, "You're a disgrace to that uniform." And the ref skates over and very calmly says, "It's 1 a.m, and I'm reffing you idiots. I'm a disgrace, all right. And it has nothing to do with this uniform."
When you wrote that in the book,
God,
I almost fell.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I said that. I'm such an asshole.
It's one of the best stories, by the way, in your book. That disgrace story is phenomenal. I'm curious. So all right. So now, when did you stop playing men's league? I'm curious. So that was men's league in like Manhattan. Did you play men's league when you moved to Connecticut?
I did.
You did.
I did for a bit. But it was I didn't like it because it was Sunday night. Okay. I love to watch a Sunday night NFL game. It's one of my favorite things. It was always the best game. I don't know if it still is. So I'd miss that game. And then I feel like there's a bear in my backyard.
Oh,
it's
does
just
that happen?
No, it's my kid doing lawn work. Okay. So, which is good. So, I don't know about you, but I can't play hockey once a week because every time I haven't played in a while, I get really sore when I play.
Yeah, sure.
And then by the time it's like breaking in your arm at the beginning of the baseball season, and then a week goes by and I have to go through it all again. I need to play. If I'm going to play, I need to play at least twice, and I wasn't playing enough. And then it was whatever. It was just too much. And then I got older. And then one of the great things I saw in that league though was there was a guy who was really, 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 really overweight. Okay, and somebody brought him. And he skates around, he comes off the ice, and he looks like he's going to have a heart attack. And the guy who brought him turns to him. Meanest thing I've ever seen anyone say says, "Would you consider this a warning sign?"
Oh, my God.
That's unreal.
And then there was another thing in that league where I remember somebody did something to me I didn't like. And I thought, I'm going to catch that person and do something to him. I'm definitely much faster than this person. And I skated as hard as I probably had in 20 years. I caught him. And I thought, now I'm here, but I'm too tired to do anything. I have to go to the bench now and sit down.
So that was the beginning of the end of the men's league career, right?
Yeah. And then the guy who was my friend who was running it died. So it's a sad thing. But that's the other thing. And I'll tell you one more really funny thing about it. The first time I played in that men's league, afterwards, we all go out to this bar called the Ancient Mariner. This is Ridgefield, Connecticut, and get a beer. You should come over there. So I go over there and I go sit down with some of the guys, and they're really not friendly at all. Like, I'm talking to them. They look creeped out by me. They're not talking to me. And then my friend comes in and he goes, "Hey, Rich, what are you doing? Those guys aren't with us."
You were talking.
Just two random dudes getting a beer, and I sit down and started talking to them.
Thinking they're on the team. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't ride. They're all in helmets. I'd never met any of them before.
Right.
That is. So I have a story that is hockey related, although it wasn't me, but a friend, and we're going back, I don't know, it must have been like, call it 10 years ago or so. And he's from Australia and fought in the special forces over in Australia and was, living in New York. And he and a bunch of his buddies had gone out for some Australian festival. I don't know, it was like Anzacs Day, I think is maybe the thing, or what. I don't even know if it was that. That doesn't even matter. The point is that they're at a bar and they're just like, talking. They're all in their uniforms and like blah, blah, blah. And not in like their combat uniforms, but they're like whatever you call the nice gear they, nice attire they wear when they're out and, as a Marine or whatever.
On their dress.
Their dress. Their dress. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly,
Sure. Their dress.
Right.
And so they're at a bar and they're all having a good time, but they're, they're a bunch of like, special forces Australian men, and they started talking to some guys at the bar, and the one guy, they were asking him like, "Oh, like what do you do?" And it was clear what these guys did, but like, "Oh, what do you do?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm the captain of the Rangers."
Huh.
And but these Australian guys were Rangers.
Right.
And they were thought this guy was
Thought
saying
they were talking
that
about hockey.
yeah, no idea. And they were ready to murder. I forget who it was. Like maybe it was McDonough. I don't know. I don't. But the point is like he's telling me the story in his Australian accent, like how him and his boys are ready to like put a beat down on this guy. And he's like, no. The New York Rangers. I play ice hockey. I'm the captain of the Rangers. Right. And they thought they were trying, it was like really
so
funny.
Actually, I think that the reason the Rangers are called the Rangers is the guy who started the team was a Texas Ranger. I think.
Oh, no way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There is a connection. It's not. It's weird that there's a team in New York called the Rangers, but I think the first guy who founded the team was a Ranger.
Huh? How about that?
I didn't know that either. That's awesome. I didn't realize that.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
As a, I grew up as a Blackhawks fan, but when I moved to New York,
oh sure,
it was just as they were putting that team together, and it was so exciting watching that team, and so I became a Rangers fan as a result of watching.
Still today?
I mean, they're like my second team. My first team is the Blackhawks, but when I go see it, but the Rangers again, it's like. This Knicks are playing in the finals right now, and they're like, I don't know if you looked at the StubHub, but there's seats for $200,000.
Yeah, they're going for huge money. Yeah.
It's gross. So, like if I say like you go to get a beer and take a leak and you just spent $30,000 of your money doing that, So, but I think like, the Rangers, it's too bad for like my kid. Like I can't really bring my kid to a Rangers game because it's too expensive. And the games end too, if I bring him to a game, I'm more likely to I just brought him to an Islanders game.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Actually, I was kind of hoping the Islanders would make the playoffs because we watched them. That's a good team and I liked them.
Yeah, they're exciting.
Good young team.
I mean, they got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. Similar to the Blackhawks, the young players, Bedard and, I would think if they start building around him, the Blackhawks will be real good. Yeah.
Well, this thing just happened. If I have it here, which is talking about hockey, is that I have it here. Dennis Hull just died. I thought I had his card. Dennis Hull?
I saw that. Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I had his hockey card. I guess I was born in 1968. So like the mid 70s were kind of like now, and everything was kind of seemed like it was falling apart and everything sort of sucked. And we kind of got the backside of everything. That's what it felt like. So like 5 years earlier, they had Bobby Hull. And by the time I showed up, we had Dennis Hull. Now, Dennis Hull was great, but he wasn't Bobby Hull, man. And it was like the Blackhawks, first of all, in that era, which people don't really realize, it's like when they played without helmets, it was great. You really identified with those players. And I remember the first Blackhawks game I saw, a friend of mine's father took me down, and you could see where they came up onto the ice. And the Blackhawks in the old Chicago Stadium, the locker rooms were under the rink. Do you know that? So they'd come up a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
So when they introduced them, and this is like Dennis Hull, Tony Esposito, Keith Magnuson, Stan Mikita, Cliff Coral. I can remember a lot of them. Pitt Martin, I think. It was like they were ascending from the depths of hell. That's what it seemed like. Because they're like,
right,
Totally.
coming up the stairs, yeah.
Between periods, they were all sweaty and bloody, and it was like they were going back down into hell. So it made hockey super, super, super exciting. And anyway, it's just very different now. Obviously, it's a much better game, probably, but it's something of the storybook quality of it's not quite the same.
It's definitely changed, that's for sure. The skill that's there today, and the guys that couldn't skate back then that would make the league for fighting. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think you have to have a lot of skill to play in today's game, right?
Yeah, but that's just recent. I feel like that's 10 years where they changed the rules. They opened the game up, so you can't afford to carry a guy who can't skate. It's just a waste of a roster spot.
That's right.
You know a guy who can fight and skate. You can have that guy.
Yeah. Which is hard to find. That's it. I mean, it's definitely interesting. I wonder if they're doing that for marketing purposes. The game is, they're changing the game to be more of a skill game, more goals, more butts in the seats, similar to like more home runs, more butts in the seats for home runs, right? In baseball. I was always curious if they're kind of changing the game to try to make it more appealing to the masses. I don't know.
It's sometimes you get to like the playoffs, and I remember watching the Rangers with McDonough when he was on the Rangers. And it was like, how is this team ever going to score a goal? It's like become like a soccer match. It would be like nobody can score.
Yeah.
And that would be very frustrating too. It's like, and sports is the only thing where you can invest 4 hours of your time, and at the end of it, you're going to feel terrible.
It's true.
You never watch a movie where you're going to spend all this time, and at the end of it, that's just going to kill all your favorite characters, and you're going to go home pissed off. And that's how.
Totally. And think about season ticket holders to the Rangers this past season, with the start that they got off to. Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
But,
you want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
I'm just curious, what made you, I mean, obviously you said when you started writing Pee-wees, you were just kind of writing because that was your world at the time. And I'm just curious, were you worried you were going to like piss anybody off on the team? Because I'm sure they all read it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I was worried. I was mostly worried that I was going to make my kid's life hell, honestly. They were going to be pissed off at him. And I had this plan. Anyway, I had this plan of him ascending out of our town into the AAA ranks anyway, so we'd be gone. I did, of course, worry about pissing people off. I tried to disguise everybody. And, it's like I didn't tell everything that happened,
Right. Sure.
And there's like a blues song. I'll tell you, but I won't tell you everything I know. So, it's always a thing about nonfiction, which is, you're always worried about pissing people off, but I always thought that even people that might be pissed off about this book when they read it the first time, they would come to appreciate it, and they would realize that the good-heartedness behind it, and it's not a mean book, and it doesn't tell anything like gossip about there's none of that. And I would think that over time, especially when they're kids, because none of these kids were going to be playing Division I hockey or anything like that. And over time, they would sort of be happy that the season that we lived through had been in some way preserved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
it be cool if your kid was on that team to be able to show a book to your kids, say, I was on this team and a guy wrote a book about it? And wouldn't that be kind of cool?
That's right.
I kind of thought that it would be preserved, and even the people that might have seen it differently or not love everything in the book would ultimately come to realize it's kind of cool that this book exists.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I feel like when we started this podcast, we had a very similar feeling, so we tread lightly as well, about what we talk a lot about our own kids and in our own situations and what we're doing, and we leave people out and stuff like that and parents out and funny stories sometimes make it in, sometimes don't, sometimes they get changed a little bit, but we're in a very similar situation.
Yeah.
You just
Totally.
did it before us and you put it on paper,
And I also have the
100%.
ability to, I have to rewrite and to edit, which you guys don't as much, so
Right.
like I can show this to my wife and she can say, "What are you, nuts? You can't put this in there. You got to get rid of this."
So
You know?
it's funny you say that because I had a question, and one of my questions was, what didn't make it into the book that you wish did? That was one of my questions that I wrote down for you.
You know what? This is the thing about a book like this, which is I can't remember what I did put in it and what I didn't put in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's hard to remember, you know, you get the crazy thing about being a hockey parent is I'm a little bit older. Now I'm a bunch older. I'm not one of the super young parents. And I've seen sports parents as a person playing hockey and as somebody going to games. And I would laugh at those people and I would pity those people and I would not understand those people and I would judge those people. And as soon as my kid was playing, I acted exactly the same way. And what's worse is I knew that it was stupid and I knew that it was wrong, but I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't help it. It was like, and there's a thing you don't understand, which is if you're a hockey fan and you're a fan of like the Rangers and the Rangers score and Mark Messier scores a goal against the New Jersey Devils in game 6 in 1994. Okay. You think that's the most exciting thing you can ever see. When your kid scores, it's 10 times more exciting than that.
Right.
It's completely messed up. It's like a biological thing. It's the most exciting thing in the world. It's more exciting than when you're a kid and you score. More exciting is when you see your kid score. It's like an unbelievable thing. And then once that just becomes addictive, and then you're at every game. They're playing a meaningless game at 6 a.m. and you're there. You're there,
Yeah.
to watch it and to judge it and everything else. So, I think that the book, it says a lot of things about a lot of people, but I think it's most critical of myself. So,
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
and it's true. It's like it's true. And it's funny. Like my father, like I said, was a basketball coach, and he's 93. Okay, he's 93
God
years old.
bless.
I took him to my son's like middle school basketball game, being coached by high school kids, and it's not serious, and the kids are not good. The score was like 15-13. It's like that kind of game.
It's
After
like
the
the
game,
Princeton offense.
after the game, my dad, who's like at this point like 83, says to me, "Do you mind if I have a word with the coaches?" Like, yes, I do mind.
Yes.
Don't do that, please, God, don't do that.
I would have loved to have heard what he was said to them, by the way.
Totally.
I would have loved to have heard what he would have said.
Just if they weren't high school kids, I think it would have scared the crap out of them. If they were like in their 20s, maybe it would have said, "Go ahead," but they were like 17 years old.
Wow. You know what's so interesting, and like with like the stories that you're telling and what we're talking about right now, and also in the book, like how like the emotional investment is like so often like disproportionate to like what the kids themselves are experiencing. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's just like a fascinating thing to kind of like really, give some thought to. And like, because here we are, just like, and for some reason, we talk about this on the pod, like, why is that sometimes? And like, of course, part of it's like maybe I'm trying to, relive things through my kids. Part of it is nowadays it's so expensive. Like I want my ROI on this one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But like it's really it's a fascinating thing because like they're the kids like at certain ages they're just so young and just doing their thing, and like you said, like you're judging parents and then you become that parent, and it's just like just to really stop and think about that is a pretty wild, it's a wild thing, right?
Well, also I realized this thing, which I'd always heard, that the reason the problem with sport parents is that they're trying to live through their kids, right? They're trying to, and often it's like the Mickey Mantle thing, okay, which is like Mickey Mantle's father pushed Mickey Mantle because Mickey Mantle himself didn't succeed. He played minor league baseball and he wanted his son to do what he had never been able to do. He was having his son live his dream vicariously. And so I thought that that's what it is. I thought that it's like mostly going to be parents who got to a certain level and weren't very good and now pushing their kids. And I found that that wasn't the case. First of all, a lot of the people didn't play hockey. A lot of them never played. And a lot of them
right.
well, it's like when I first played adult hockey in New York. It's a little bit of a tangent, but a lot of the people who had played roller hockey or rollerblade, they never played ice hockey. And they mostly knew hockey from the Nintendo game Blades of Steel. So they thought at some point, like every 4 or 5 minutes, you drop your gloves and get into a fist fight on the ice. And I'm like, that's actually not a part of the game of hockey. I mean, maybe it is in the NHL or whatever, but we're playing adult league hockey at night. We're wearing face masks. We're not getting into fist fights on the ice, So I just remember there was a parent who wanted to teach the kids slap shots when they were like mites. And I'm like, that's insane. First of all, they're not legal. You can't take them.
Right.
That's right. They don't have the ability to take a slap shot. It's silly. It's stupid.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But what I found it wasn't like parents trying to push their kids beyond where they went. It was the fact that the kids who did well gave status to their parents now. Like to be the parent of a hockey superstar gave you status in the rink and made you important and put you with a quote unquote higher class of other parents, with the AA parents instead of the single A parents, blah, 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 blah. So that shocked me. And that also I definitely was surprised by and made fun of. But then there was a game where it was like a tie game, and Micah, right up at the end, my son, made this very clever play. That's what he was just good at, being clever, where he, at an older, you know that this play would happen, but kids hadn't seen it, which is he went around the goalie and then stopped and came back and scored because the goalie followed him around and didn't even think that he would come back. Okay. Right. And a parent actually came across the rink and shook my hand and hugged me. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. I'm like, Mike can make more goals and score more goals and I could become mayor of this town,
That's right. It's true though. And you're right. You can't help yourself. And Scott and I went down that road for a long time. And that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast, because we knew that we were kind of broken, right? And we needed to fix ourselves. And for some strange reason, when you talk to another hockey parent, it makes you feel better because you're not acting the right way, right? So that's kind of one of the reasons why we started this, Rich, because it was part therapy session for Scott and I to try to fix ourselves. And by having these conversations and doing it through a podcast, we bring on people like yourself who have experienced this, and hopefully, and I think it's kind of working. I know it's working for Scott and I, and hopefully it's working for a lot of our listeners. Again, they don't, like Scott said before, they don't know what they don't know until they know it. And from hearing from all these hockey personalities and people that have gone through it, I think it's starting to sink in. So hopefully we're doing some service to the hockey space by kind of taking the crazy
hockey lives.
Trying to, yes.
I just remember being at a game once where I was behind the goalie and me and another hockey parent were just talking shit about every other parent on the team and every other kid. And the goalie's parent came over and he had a GoPro set up to watch his son. And we were like, oh shit.
He picked up everything.
No, I never heard about it again, but I was terrified for about 3 weeks. It was going to do me a transcription or something.
Well, and it's so funny. We've been in rinks, not Jamie and I necessarily, but like I'll be with my wife, and look, we all go through stuff, and like one of the first questions, if we know we're starting to talk about whatever, people, parents, kids, whatever, it's like, where's the live barn camera?
I was just going to say that.
I know.
Everything's
well,
recorded.
Because that live barn was there, but it wasn't even in every rink yet.
Right.
I wrote a book about the 1985 Chicago Bears, and I interviewed Jim McMahon. And
I used to wear the headband.
Yeah, I fucking love McMahon as my favorite player.
100%.
Hard not to, yeah.
starts talking to me about his kid playing hockey in Glenview, Illinois, and he was a crazy hockey parent. He almost got in a fight with another parent. Can you imagine going to a hockey game, watch your 10-year-old, and you get in a fight with Jim McMahon?
Jim McMahon.
Guy's a legend. That just made me think of Fridge Perry. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that team that you covered was like the Walter Payton day. I mean, those were like
Yeah,
those were
Dick-
major,
that was the
major.
greatest, in my opinion,
Yeah.
it was the greatest defense of all time, and it was.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable defense, unbelievable football team.
So
Yeah.
one of the things also that like I know resonates loud with our parents, and I'm sure you got plenty of stories, was just the tournament lifestyle.
Yeah,
and like what that's like, and what's interesting, and I'll share my bit a little bit about it. When my son started playing, and at least more competitively in travel, like I was coaching him, and that really did happen organically, despite the fact that it probably sounds like a lie since I'm on a podcast called Crazy Hockey Dads, but it is pretty true. Nonetheless, I was more than happy to do it, but I also because of that distanced myself to some extent, from being really like kind of like in the trenches with the other parents. So, when Jamie tells these stories, I'm like, wow, I kind of feel like I missed out on stuff, because I really wasn't.
He was
Yeah, no,
hiding.
I was
Yeah.
hiding.
Yeah. It's funny because this is from a season after the book. So it's like there was many seasons after I wrote the book. So my son was on a AAA hockey team, and they had him playing like the best teams in the Northeast, but they weren't very good. It was like they made this promise to parents, and the team should not have been playing who we were playing. So we'd lose very badly, but it was actually a really fun season. But there was a goalie on the team, and the goalie, every time we got down by 5 goals or more, he would hurl his equipment across the ice. And it was always kind of very entertaining. And I always say the bad news is we're losing 4-0. The good news is if they score one more goal, we're all going to get to see that big blocker get thrown across the ice.
He would just toss his gear.
Go crazy, take his glove, he'd throw it, and he was the only goalie. So then he'd have to go put it all back on. We usually got a penalty for it,
Delayed game.
Oh, so somebody would have to go in the box. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh God.
Yeah.
That just made me, I don't know who we were talking to, and it's not necessarily about I don't think it was a parent that we spoke to, but you just made me think of like, it made me think of like what would be like a suitable punishment. Why my brain's going this direction, I don't know necessarily, but who did we have on, James, that like when the goalie got a penalty, they'd make the goalie go serve the penalty in the box?
God, I don't remember.
They just have the empty net.
Yeah.
They place. Yeah.
The goalie would have to serve the penalty.
By the way, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be the goalie. I always wanted to play goalie, and they never would let me to play goalie. And one time, the goalie didn't show up, and so I said, "Can I please play goalie?" And they said yes. And this is outdoors in Chicago, in Glencoe, Illinois. There's an outdoor rink called Watts, and I'm playing goalie. And I never really thought through what it means to be a goalie. Okay, which is it was very cold out. It was like 5 degrees out. And our team was pretty good. So they're pinned on the other side of the ice. I'm just sitting there. With like nothing to do and freezing cold. And then all of a sudden everybody's skating at you and you have to just stand there, and then somebody took a slap shot and hit me in the ankle, and it felt like my whole ankle shattered like glass. And I thought, this is a terrible, terrible position. I wanted to do it for the face masks, really, because that was the era of, the Jason kind of.
The scary mask. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's fun you bring that up. I remember not hockey, but when I was a kid, I also played soccer, and I was a goalie in soccer. And I remember similarly, it was cold. It was like, I don't know. It was like fall, like it was like an early fall freeze or whatever the deal was. And I was literally standing there. I have such vivid memories of my dad running out into the field and giving me his jacket just so I could put something else on, because I was just standing there absolutely freezing. But yeah, it's
funny the things you remember. So like just talking about this, I'm remembering this outdoor rink I played at, which was where you played house league.
Yeah.
And what I remember, this is like what you remember from hockey as a kid, which is there was a Coke machine, which still had the thing where the thing poured the syrup and poured the cup would come out, and then every now and then you'd put a quarter in, and this syrup would come out, and the soda would come out, and then a clump of ice, and then the cup. you know? And really learn, like, you can get screwed in this life, you know?
Totally.
I used my 1 quarter and the cup came out after the drink.
Oh God.
That's like, that's like when you get something from a vending machine and the
it
two
gets
little like
stuck.
corkscrews stop and the thing's still there.
Yeah.
You start
Or
shaking the
cup would
machine,
sometimes
try to
come
get
out-
it out.
The hot chocolate machine, the cup would come out upside down and you try to like, and the
That
stuff
would-
was like 150 degrees when it would come out. And you go,
That was totally someone messing with the messing with the people using the machine. I'm gonna turn these cups upside down.
Right.
But also, I remember as a kid playing hockey, after you played, you'd go out to that machine and get a payday bar. And that payday
Payday.
bar after I played hockey was the most delicious thing to this day I've ever had in my
Yeah.
life, you know? Like, you never
And it-
feel better than after you play.
And it's funny that's the stuff that the kids remember when they're young.
Yeah.
And I think parents forget this. They remember like what they ate with their buddies, running around the hotel. When the game ends, for the most part, most of them don't even remember who won or lost. Right? The memories are with their buddies, eating food like that, or hanging out in hotels, playing knee hockey in the hallway.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what these kids remember at the younger
You're
age.
getting yelled at by some person who stupidly booked the Hilton at Lake Placid in November and has no idea what the hell they're doing, and they
Right.
wind up ruining their second honeymoon and maybe ending their marriage early because of it.
I wonder how many marriages have been ruined by ice hockey, by the way. You know, that's actually
Probably a
I think
handful.
I think that's a thing, by the way. I mean, we've talked to a bunch of parents that I think one in particular, I think he actually said on our podcast early on, it was very early on, Scott. I'm sure I don't know if you remember it, but he said that hockey had tested his marriage.
Mhm.
You know? I mean,
Mhm.
it's stressful and you get in, like you said before, Richie, you get involved in it. You get emotional and that's one of the things we kind of try to tell people is just to let your kid have their journey and try not to scream at them in the car on the way home, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like I said, I think I'm hoping that
Now you've
we're
just brought up
fixing
a lot of memories that I'm ashamed of. The yelling.
all of
Oh.
us. We've all
The
done
car
it,
ride
right?
home.
We've all done it.
Yeah,
We've all
like,
been there.
explaining what you did wrong and all that kind of crap.
Right. We've all done.
You
All right. So that's a question for you, Rich. What would
Yeah.
you change if you're going back, when your kids were playing, what would you do different? If you get to pick one
Okay,
thing.
so much of hockey for kids as a parent is based on as soon as they make a team, you're already focusing on what team will they make next. It's
Mhm.
all based on climbing this ladder, and the ladder mostly goes nowhere. It's like, so you're focused on where your kid's going to be on the next year, the next team, and it's kind of like your kid's hockey career, if you can call it that, is happening now. This is it. So like when they're a peewee and they're playing with their friends, that's the thing. Like, so I think I would focus more on this moment and like not focused on like your career where you're like, what job am I going to have next? Because you're missing it. Your kid isn't missing it. Like you said, as a kid, you remember. It's like hockey's so great as a sport. It's such a great sport to play that parents almost can't ruin it. So what you wind up doing is usually your kid has to put up with some shit and stuff from you, and there's maybe some things you're ashamed of, but your kid's still going to have a great time, but you miss it as a parent.
Right.
And that's probably for all of childhood. You miss it because you're so focused on the journey, like the goal. There is no goal, not really. I mean, the goal is to play hockey.
Right. Right. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, Rich. I was playing pickleball recently with a girl who's really, really good. I mean, impressive. But we got to talking, and her son just graduated high school, and his hockey career is now over. And she looks at me and she goes, and she knows that I have a 2012, so I have a handful of years to go until I get to, the point where Dominic stops playing hockey. But she looks at me, she goes, Jamie, she goes, I can't even tell you how badly I miss it. She's like, my husband and I don't know what to do with ourselves. That's what she
Yeah.
said to me. Right?
It's like in the movie Raising Arizona when he starts driving by convenience stores that aren't on the way home. You start driving by rinks where your kid isn't playing and slowing down.
Right.
It's real, right? It really is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's a huge part of your life. But it's just a metaphor for being a parent, man, because your kids will go off to college or their lives and It's sad. I mean, but so that's why it's important not to like focus on where this is
Right.
going, because it's happening right now.
Just live
Yeah.
in the moment.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, but
Well-
your kids, really, you can't really wreck it for your kids, I don't think, because it's such a fun sport. And by the way, hockey has the advantage of the parents are at a safer move on the other side of a thick piece of plexiglass. They can't get at the kids. The kids can't usually hear them, you know? One of the
Right.
funniest moments I ever saw as a youth hockey parent, this is in the book, is a kid vomited on the ice. I mean, that's not funny, but no one would clean it up. And the coach is saying to the ref, "You got to clean it up." The ref's like, "I'm not paid to clean it up. I'm paid to ref a hockey game, not to
Yeah.
clean up vomit. You have to clean it up." Like the game came to a stop because of the fight over who would clean up the puke on the ice.
So who wound up losing that battle? The coach?
The parent came out. The ref would not do it.
No.
Oh,
The
the
parent
parent.
came out and in a huff, slipping all around in his street shoes, and like nothing like seeing somebody have a temper tantrum on ice in sneakers.
That must have been a sight.
Total sight.
Oh my God.
So was your wife along for like the ride just as much as you were, or
No.
was not as
I mean,
much?
she would come sometimes.
Yeah.
The worst is when I remember I was complaining about something. I was talking about how great the game is and everything. And I had this friend and I got him all excited about hockey. Like, it's so exciting. I was explaining how exciting these games are. And his kids were very good basketball and soccer players. And I got, through my language, I got him so excited about the game. He showed up at like our squirt game and he's like, "What the hell? This sucks." Like he's expecting, like the Rangers and the Devils. And he's got a bunch of kids and he looks at me like, "You've gone nuts." Like, and I like saw it through his eyes and I was like, "Oh my God, it really isn't that great." So my wife always, I think, saw it as it was more. And I sort of saw it as I wanted it to be. It's a little bit like the emerald colored glasses,
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
definitely, by the time they're in high school, they're genuinely good. But in those first years, it's exciting when you see a 2-line pass like successfully executed. You're ready to pass out from it.
Totally. 100%.
Were you ever thinking about doing a sequel to the book? Was that ever an option? Like a season 2?
No, but I'm thinking about it turning it into like a TV show or a movie. That is something I want to do.
Oh, that's interesting. Is there
The
any?
problem is with this hockey show, I have no sex scenes at all. There's absolutely no sex
with
in
like 12-year-olds or whatever.
Yeah, in my
right?
my hockey experience, there's no sex and it's completely G-rated. So I know this show. I haven't even seen it, but I remember that show over the winter that everybody's going crazy about.
Oh, the one on HBO?
Heated Rivals or whatever it was called. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but everybody talks about it.
Right.
When Scott and I opened up our business bank account, we're sitting in front of her and she's like, "So what's the podcast about?" We're like, "It's about ice hockey." She's like, "Oh." She's like, "Heated Rivals?" We're like, "What?"
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I realized somebody said, "See, so you really showed that there really is a big mainstream market on TV for hockey." I'm like, "For sex?"
Right.
I mean, it's like it's not the hockey that they're there for. So
Yeah, well, that's when you make the tournament weekends a little more explosive or have some more fireworks, because I'm sure there's plenty of crazy stories that circle around too many drinks in the hotel lobby.
I know, I never really saw that, but I would always be one of the parents that would go to sleep kind of early.
Yeah.
I never saw it either, but I can almost guarantee you that there have been marriages ruined from youth hockey. I can guarantee you.
I heard a story. This is like a story of like a couple years older than my kid, that the coach was having an affair with one of the mothers.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that as well.
And the theory was it was really about ice time. Like, you want to get your kid ice time? So, and then the father left and the coach moved in, and now this kid is living with his mom and his hockey coach.
No.
That's unbelievable. How awkward is that?
Hey, coach.
Yeah,
Stepdad guy.
I have heard stories about that too, Rich. That is a thing. There's a lot of people giggling listening to this interview right now. That's for sure.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So one of the things we were talking about also was just like when you were talking about like your memories of like, what it was like back then for you and like your experiences. Have you, and have you ever like kind of like reconciled some of your memories against like your child's and like what it was like for them? Like, oh, if you were like, oh, do you remember the time when this, that, and that? And like, is it, I think that would be like an interesting thing, like down the road, like when I, like relive things with my kid and just be
Yeah.
curious to see like, what are the things that I remember versus what he remembers,
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I used to want to do this whole thing because there's a change in sports parents. Like, I always thought there was two models, which was from the old model of sports parent is like there's a movie about Lou Gehrig, Pride of the Yankees, famous movie with Gary Cooper, and also the Newt Rockney story is another one where Lou Gehrig's parents hated sports and thought sports were a stupid waste of time, you know? And the whole story is like he'd go out in his nice clothes and play baseball and have to come in and his shirt would be ripped. And his mom's like, Lou, are you playing that baseball again? You are punished, And then you get to like Mickey Mantle, like I said, whose dad is like, what are you doing wasting your time at school? We got to go out and teach you to hit lefty. You got to start throwing. You got to learn to throw with both hands. And it's like this shift. So I think my father was more like the Lou Gehrig parents, even though my father, I said, is a basketball coach and he did not care. He did not think I was going to play college anything. He did not think he liked that I was playing hockey because he thought it was good to get exercise and it would kind of toughen you up a little bit. And it's good to get knocked down and it's good to get checked and to learn that you could get hit and it's not really that big a deal and all that. He liked all that, but he didn't really care about my progress or the game. He didn't come to the games, he didn't understand the games. And then, so my memory of hockey is kids and brothers, other kids and some coaches. Right. And the first time I really noticed this that it changed is I took my son to a hockey game and I went into the locker room like with this bag and all the parents are in the locker room. This is when he's a little kid and they're staying in the locker room. And the coach comes in and there's like 12 kids and 12 parents.
Yeah.
And that was just mind-blowing to me, like a complete cultural shift of the involvement of parents, And I can imagine what it's like to be a coach. I mean, I'm one of the parents bitching, but basically to be a coach, to want to coach little kids to play hockey, and you have to deal with all these angry parents. Like, some are protecting their kids' positions. Some are angry that their kids aren't getting enough of this or that. And in our case, where we played, there's a parent board. It's run by a parent board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the coach doesn't want to piss off the parents, the parents of the kids on the board.
Because they're calling the shots, yeah.
They could fire them.
Sure.
Right.
Which is actually, so these jobs matter to people, So it changed. It became more professional. It continues. It becomes, so all the way up to now when you think of what's happened with football, because that's the most visible to me in the last 10 years with the portal and all that in college football. It's like they've somehow turned all of amateur sports into minor leagues for the pros.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's way more efficient for developing players. That's for sure. So if your goal is to develop great players for the pro leagues, it's much better. But if you want to give an interesting experience to these kids and then ultimately to the people who care about the game as fans, you've destroyed the game. You've created a feeder system for the NHL or whatever it is. So,
no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
When I was a kid, I played in Deerfield Falcons. We had a great team. The whole organization was great. And now all those AA teams are completely hollowed out because of all the AAA programs,
Yeah.
And one of my criticisms, even though I had fun, was, like I said, when I was a kid, we traveled because we had to, because there's not a lot of kids that played. You had to go to find the kids that played. But
Right.
like where I live in Fairfield County, Connecticut, there's like a good hockey team every 3 or 4 miles,
Yep.
Yeah.
I always thought it would be very helpful if they just scheduled a lot of local games and you could get local rivalries going, like Bears-Packers style rivalries where we played the team from New Canaan as youths 6 times instead of
Right.
traveling to Southern New Jersey and spending many, many hours in the car when you could be playing hockey. you know? So
Yeah.
whatever. But that's just a way to like, if you want to get, I always said, if you want to get rich, figure out a way to charge for something that's always been free. That's how you get rich. So
Like
figure out
water
what to
and
charge
air.
for water,
Yeah.
Right.
So literally, like when I grew up, I played travel hockey, and I would go play house league hockey. The best kid I knew, the best hockey player, the best athlete, he played house league hockey because his mom is like, I'm not going to drive 10 miles so you can play hockey when we've got a perfectly good rink right here in town.
She
And
was
it costs
smart.
$5, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. She was smart.
Yeah,
She was onto something.
Yeah. But now when I go to, when my older son wanted to play the house league, they don't even have enough kids for 2 teams.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, that's,
House league for us is little kids, right?
Yeah.
but it's interesting you say that because like one of the things that I was surprised at, like my son doesn't play baseball, but around here, if you're going to play travel baseball, you have to play rec baseball. Like,
Yeah.
and so you're automatically on 2 teams. And so a buddy of mine who I played hockey
Yeah.
with, and we still skate every now and again, he's just telling me his kids are into baseball. And he's like, he's coached them also, but it's like he's got 2 kids and 4 baseball teams.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that he's coaching all of them, but he's like, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
bananas.
It's the same
Yeah.
rule here. And actually, that's another thing, which is my son also played baseball. He's really good at baseball. And at some point when the hockey got more serious, he had to tell the baseball coach, I have to be late for these practices because of the hockey practices. And
Yeah.
the coach said, okay, but it was okay for
No.
like twice. And then he wasn't playing and he was getting yelled at and he had to like choose,
Yeah.
it just sucked that he had to make this choice, like adult choice, like choose your sport at like age 12 or whatever it was.
Yeah. They all say that. They're like, it's okay until it's not okay. And it becomes
And by
not
the way,
okay
I
very
thought that
quickly.
baseball made him a better hockey player because he was great at like tipping in pucks and all that stuff,
From the hand-eye. Yeah. From
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a common thread. Like I was talking to a parent who we've actually had on the podcast, but his kids are very high level athletes, like D1 D1 lacrosse. One's going to like the USA like development team, and but he was just talking about like he was a football guy growing up, and just like it was his kid was maybe in like I don't know, let's call it 7th grade at the time. I could be mixing up. It doesn't matter. But he's just like, my son is the only kid on the team that still plays 2 sports.
Yeah.
He's like in 7th or 8th grade. And it's like what?
They make it very, very, very hard.
Very hard.
Every
100%.
sport.
But
Every sport
it's-
wants you to be 12 months out of the year.
Yeah.
But it's not only, but like part of the problem is that it's not just that like the circumstantially it gets difficult. Is that like if you actually want to play another sport, you're competing against kids that are playing it year round. You know what I mean? So that like your actual skill set needs to be that much better if you even want to play. It's bananas, and it's really unfair in so many ways. And you mentioned the portal, you mentioned, like the the development path, and now that there's money with the NIL money, like the downward pressure that it puts on youth sports, I think is absolutely insane. That it used to be, kids or parents are like, oh, maybe my kid will get a scholarship or get some of his school paid for. But now that you can go to college and you can actually make like in some cases like millions of dollars,
Big money. Yeah.
like it is so bananas, and it's just not fair to the kids because they're put in situations where like we talk about the love for the game, right?
Yeah.
And I always say this because I'll probably never forget this, but Doug Christensen, who I mentioned earlier, put it so well, and he said that your children need to love the game because, like anything in life, the price of admission at some point is going to get very hard, and if they don't love it, they're not going to pay. And it's like you put all this downward pressure on like kids that aren't like their brains aren't even developed enough to handle like some of this stuff, and it's like what are we doing? Like what are we doing here?
Well, that was the thing, and I think I read about it in the book, which is like, it's like what people think skill is, So they're like, what always drove me crazy, and this goes even up to the NFL, to my Bears book, which is people would say like, he had so much skill if he just had just could stick to it, or just had a work ethic, or just practiced, but that's the skill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that stuff that you think is just an extra thing, it would be good if the person had it. That stuff's even more rare than what you're calling the skill. And it ends up being more important. And like, that's the love of the game, whatever so you'd see these kids that they're really, really have these skills, and that's what they measure for. Because the tryouts, they break it down and they measure for the skills, but they don't like hockey. You know what I mean? So they're gonna quit.
Right.
You're looking at this kid's great, but this kid's gonna quit because the kid doesn't like hockey, and you're pushing him harder and harder and harder. So you wind up with these teams with like the teams that win as little kids used to be full of kids that want to be there and they're having a great time and they love hockey. You know?
Yep.
And so you're measuring. It's interesting because it is a downward pressure because you get like the skills you measure for at, like, say, the NFL Combine or something, right? Which those skills don't really mean anything, but whatever. So basically, the stuff that gets valued is only the stuff that you can count or measure, and the stuff that's in that you cannot measure, it's like it doesn't exist. But often a lot of that turns out to be the most important stuff. They call it hockey IQ, but no one really knows what that means. It just means like a kid that wants to win and can figure out creative ways to get the job done, basically, in some way. So, and they will figure it out. That's like what the book Moneyball, to me, is about, which is they figured out a way to measure a bunch of stuff that wasn't being measured.
Right.
That's right.
You know, let's say there's theoretically 100,000 things you can measure about an athlete, and 100 of them are getting measured, you know, and the rest, it's like it just doesn't exist. And as a parent watching it, when they make these selections, you can see that they're missing it, you know, and they're often missing the kids that are really good because they don't have these kind of concrete measures, which turn out not to be important. And you wind up with these kids that are kind of like maybe very skilled or have a very hard shot, or they're fast, but they don't want to be at the rink. They don't like the game, or they don't want any physical contact.
Yeah,
Can't put them in a crowd around the front of the net. They won't go there. They don't want to be touched.
It's funny you mentioned that. So my son just finished his first year bantam year where they started hitting, and wow, what a difference from our last Pee Wee year to our first bantam year. There were kids that wanted no part of contact.
Yeah.
I mean, zero. And they were not small kids either. And they were like this.
It was funny. I used to joke about it because the idea that you don't check until bantam, because it's bantam year that they start checking.
Yeah, it's bantam. Yeah.
And when I was a kid, you checked as a mite. You got checked. You always
right.
You know,
right.
So I thought, well, it'd be fun to play as a kid with nobody can check you. You know, that was small.
Right.
But then you think sort of like adding in bantam year is kind of cruel. It's sort of like saying, like when somebody's 20, oh, we forgot to tell you something important about life. You die. We didn't mention that.
Right.
You'll die at some point. You'll get sick. It's like the hockey. Oh, just good. One more thing we didn't mention, which is if you have the puck, anyone around the team can come and just lay you out. It's okay. That's allowed.
Yes. Yeah. And you could see that that was a very real thing that kids were not expecting to get clipped on the way to the net. And all of a sudden they're getting laid out when they thought they had a clear lane to the net and the kid was just going to stick a stick out. And now they're taking the body, and it's a totally different world. And guys, again, you see some kids that want no part of it, and it's blatantly obvious.
I mean, my son was really lucky. It was during COVID that he became a bantam, and he had this great coach in Brewster, New York, who'd been a state trooper and a hockey player, and he just taught them how to get hit. Like the stuff you kind of do instinctually if it happens when you're a kid, which is how to move so you only get the glow, you don't get the full blow, and how to he was just really good. Like
how to glance off and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a lot of those, not how to hit, but how to get hit. And you feel like when he came back to after COVID and played with the kids in our town, those kids had never been taught, and they were getting hurt.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why Curtis Martin had such a long career. And that's why he rushed for, 1,000 yards a year for 10 plus years, whatever it was, because he knew how to not take a hit head on. He would always glance off, right? That's a skill,
Yeah.
And it seems also so unfair on like a bunch of different levels. And I know there's reasons behind it. In USA Hockey, they do a lot of good things, but like you're not only introducing it at a time like when there's these big gaps in terms of size, right? Like puberty is like in full swing, so you have like tons of mismatches everywhere. But then like all of these years of being on the ice, and yes, I know body contact is part of USA Hockey's like prescription. there's no doubt about it from 8U where they talk about angling and body contact for sure. But because it's also not such a part of the game, like body checking, like I don't know how much investment there really is in teaching younger kids how to, at least in this area. I know USA Hockey's got a stronger grip in different parts of the country, but my experience over here in New Jersey and the Northeast has just been like, you're setting these kids up in some ways almost to fail because all these years they could be like getting used to it,
Right.
and
And you
learning
actually
how.
you see kids at like their peewees, and you're like, that kid's great, but it's not gonna work next year.
No.
All
That's
the
right.
dip doodle and doing all this stuff, and
Yep.
you just know this
That's
kid's
right.
whatever. This kid's developing a whole bunch of skills are not gonna go past high school.
Right.
That's right.
And the hitting before you said the body contact, it's more like basketball. That's what I always think of. It's like you bang into people when you play basketball, but
Yeah.
it's different. It's the idea that you can, if you catch somebody with their head down, you can actually
Mhm.
try to like knock them out, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's I think one of our one of our parents, the Scott, the one you were talking about whose child's gonna go play US national development team. I think he said something to the fact of, it was like something like when you teach a dog not to bite through like mites, squirts, peewees, and all of a sudden you need to teach them how to bite all of a sudden. Like you say, don't bite, don't bite, don't bite, and all of a sudden you need them to bite. Like a lot of them don't want to or aren't used to it or just don't, right?
But it's interesting. Like, I haven't really thought about it, so this is going to be completely wrong. But a lot of the changes that are made are about the parents. Like, it could be that watching squirts check, the parents you're not getting the kids to play the game. You're not getting them. You're not being able to get the kids in the programs because the parents don't want to sit there and watch their kids get hit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Sure.
So, and then at some point, obviously, it's like in baseball. Like, if you're going to the major leagues, you're going to have to hit with a wooden bat. That's what they
Right.
use in the major leagues. And at
Right.
some point, if you're playing hockey and you're going to go play in college or whatever, you have to introduce checking. So the question is, like, at where? And probably Bantam is the worst for all the reasons that you said. There's kids that don't grow until they're 17 years old, And by the way, a lot of those times, those kids, because I also wrote a book about the 1987-88 NBA basketball season, which I thought was the best season of all time. And you realize that a lot of the players that were the best were small, and they grew in college because they developed all these skills, like you develop skills, how not to get hit, how to shift around, and then you're suddenly big, So like I'm from Chicago, so Scottie Pippen was 6 feet tall point guard as a freshman in college, and he developed all these point guard skills, and then he ended up being he grew 10 inches in college.
That's crazy.
So he wound up as this very tall, big person with the skills of a normal sized person, basically. And
That's
same
right.
with Rodman, same thing. He grew after college.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Dennis Rodman got enormous then. Yeah.
Enormous.
But I think he was 6'10", if I'm not mistaken, Dennis Rodman,
Yeah,
right?
he was like 6. He didn't make his high school basketball team because he was too short.
That's right. Just like Michael Jordan. Very similar situation.
A
Yeah.
freak.
Those teams, were those like the John Paxton, BJ Armstrong, Bill Cartwright, like Bill Wennington days? Are those all the guys that were on that team?
Yes. The team I wrote about on the Bulls was I wrote about 87-88 season because there were 4 recognizable dynasties all playing well.
The Lakers, the
like
Bulls, the Celtics, and
the Pistons.
the Isaiah Thomas. Yes, I forgot about the
Yeah.
Pistons. Yes.
And in a lot of ways, the book was sort of trying to reclaim, like restore Isaiah Thomas to where he belongs, which is right up there in the pantheon, which is how I always felt watching him play. And he's sort of been left out of the conversation partly because of, his bad time as the GM of the Knicks. But that has nothing to do with his career as a player.
Right.
And his career was cut a little bit, like in that year I wrote about 87-88, the Pistons went to game 7 in the finals and lost to the Lakers. And they really were the better team and all this stuff. But there were 3 different times during that postseason that Isaiah Thomas was on the floor unconscious.
Yeah, those are hard. Those are hard
That's right.
times.
And Isaiah was 5'11".
Yeah, he was a little guy. Yeah, but
And
he was
he would
tough
go
as nails.
Yeah, and he would go inside and,
Always.
and they would knock him to the floor and he would be out cold. There was a game as a Bulls fan, so off the subject of hockey, but Isaiah Thomas was really badly hurt, like knocked out. okay, at Chicago Stadium. He left the game and went into the locker room like not to come back.
And he came
And
back.
the Bulls came back without Isaiah, and they took a lead. Isaiah did not want to come back, but there had been a bunch of robberies at Chicago Stadium. So when he got to the locker room, it was locked. He couldn't get into the locker room. So he came back to the bench, and the coach is like, "Are you okay to play?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. I'm kind of like, don't really know where I am." And so they said, "Can you go back?" And he goes, "Okay." And he went back in in 3 minutes, he scored like 15 points or something and ended the game and ended the season for the Bulls. But it was like,
yeah, he was a heck of a
wild.
basketball player. He was some basketball player. My goodness.
Yeah.
Talk about an underrated guy in like NBA history. My goodness.
yeah.
Right?
Well, that makes me think of like Paul Correa, right? When he got knocked out
Yeah.
and then he came back.
Absolutely.
Like, and then, Scott Stevens. Wow. That just, like I'm a big Eric Lindros fan. So also, and grew up a Devils fan. So there's a little bit of a
Scott Stevens
difficulty there.
always seemed evil to me. I mean, just because seems like he would end people's careers.
Oh,
did.
yes. Many of them.
In some ways.
Yes.
I did a story for a long time ago for, I think it was GQ or something, about Keith Kachuk. When
Okay.
he was young. When he was young, and he was the captain of the Phoenix Coyotes. And I hung out with him for like a week in Phoenix, and he had 2 young sons, age 2 and age 4,
Right. Matthew and Brady. Yeah.
But what I remember is I went with him to the rink, and Matthew Barnaby was hanging out.
Okay.
And remember Matthew Barnaby?
Yeah, he played for the Islanders, right?
Well, at this point, he played for Buffalo.
Okay.
And he was like very, very, very hated because he was he was like Avery or something. He was like a dirty player.
Yeah.
And he was small, but he was just so strong, and he had threatened Dominic Hasek was the goalie of the Sabres, and Dominic Hasek had basically pushed the coach out. I forget. He somehow got the coach fired, and Barnaby loved the coach, and Barnaby said he might make a run at Hasek, his own goalie. So everybody was really mad at Barnaby. And then when I went to the game, at the game that night, somebody passed the puck. It was like a buddy pass. It was in center ice behind Barnaby. No. It seemed like it was on purpose, man. And they all were mad at him anyway. And he reached back to get the pass, and somebody hit him, and he like helicoptered in the air, and like he was unconscious, and he was not big, and his teeth were all over the ice. And it was very violent, and I felt like I've just seen the end of someone's career. And he goes into the locker room, and I look up, and like 5 minutes later, he's back on the bench, and he has 2 swabs up his nose, like with blood. And they put him on the big monitor, and they start playing Bad to the Bone on the monitor. And he plays air guitar, and then he goes back out on the ice and immediately gets in a fight.
And only hockey players. Only.
Well, then later on, I interviewed him. I spoke to him then, just talking to him. He's a very friendly person, and I spoke to him when he was then later on the Rangers, and I spoke to him again. I don't remember. Must have been doing another hockey story, and I asked him about Nintendo hockey, about the fighting in Nintendo hockey, if it was realistic, and he said, "No, it's not realistic because in real life you can never hit anyone that clean."
That makes sense.
Also, he was talking about talking shit to other players, and he gave this whole thing about how it's got to be true. Like, if you got to know, if you say to a guy, your wife's a lesbian, he's talking about Slapshot, and the guy's wife is not a lesbian, he does not care. But if you say your wife's a lesbian and it is a lesbian, then you can get the guy out of his game,
Oh, that's very funny.
And so he said every time a player would be traded to whatever team he was on, he would ask the guy out to dinner and go out with the note cards and just ask about every player on the other team and write down all the gossip and all the shit that he would use.
That is so smart. So smart.
That's so good. My goodness.
It's funny that you bring that up because like I listened to Spittin' Chicklets recently, and I think it was on Chicklets, but just talking about how players and their injuries, especially in the playoffs, and that like if you got a buddy on a team that just got knocked out, like you're asking like what are the injuries on that team so you know what to go after. If someone's shoulder's hurting, I'm like, all right, I'm going after that dude's shoulder. And those are real text threads that get passed around, people trying to get the competitive advantage on, it's unreal.
Yeah, it's a cruel world.
Yes.
No doubt.
That's for
No
sure.
doubt.
So I know we've kept you for like an hour 20 so
Yeah.
far, Rich. So we want to be mindful of your time. So I have one more good one for you. All right.
Okay.
Finish this sentence. Youth hockey is blank.
The best.
You can go. Oh, there you go.
Short
It
and
is.
sweet.
I second that. That's a perfect spot to end because I don't know how else you end it.
Can't top it.
And tell everybody where they can find you, Rich.
Yeah.
I have a website, which is authorrichcohen.com. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm around and I'm easy to reach.
Go
Fantastic.
download Pee-wee's, go buy it in Barnes and Noble or wherever you can find it. It is a phenomenal book for any hockey parent, period.
Must read.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Look,
Thank you, Rich. This has been an unbelievable treat. It was worth the 9 months waiting. Thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Well
Yes.
put, James.
Yeah. Thank you, Rich.
All right, Rich. Thanks so much, man. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
All right, everybody, welcome back from our interview with Rich Cohen, the author of Pee-wee's. And if you don't have the book already, I highly recommend you go buy it and read it or download it and listen to it.
Listen to it.
You can listen to it
Yes.
too. You
Which
don't have
we-
to necessarily read it, but you could tell people you read it even when you listen to it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes. No, but it's funny. I listened to it again before we had Rich
But let me
Cohen
ask you a
on.
question. You would never say
I
it.
can hear Jimmy. It's Glassman the Pips.
If you actually read it, you would never say I listened to it.
I consumed it.
There you go. There it is.
I
You
consumed
it.
the book, which just sounds weird because it sounds like I ate it.
That's true. Anyway, enough of that stuff.
Anyway, the book is really good. So I listened to it again before our interview with him. It's so good.
It's so good.
I mean, again, you hockey parents, if you have not read or listened or consumed the book Pee-wee's,
Yeah.
we highly recommend it. It is, you will find yourself smiling and giggling to yourself
Yeah, it was great.
while you're reading or listening.
Totally. And it was one of the parts that really stick out about the interview was when he was, I don't know if it was like one part, but like at some point, like he's chronicling like, his kid's journey. And then it's like, it's really a lot about, parenting, obviously, but just how like he even said himself, like he would like be there like before a game while his kid's getting dressed or whatever. And he sees parents down there, like doing their like crazy hockey parent thing.
Stuff.
And he would look at them and judge them and like all those things. And the moment the puck dropped, he was up there
turned
doing
into
the
the
same
same guy.
thing. The same guy, yeah. And I think we can all relate to that,
There's no question about it. Most of us can, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's true. We always make fun of the guy who's doing that, and then you turn into him, and you're like, oh shit. That's where the self-awareness comes in,
Yeah, well,
or lack thereof.
I really try to keep myself on mute. Not that I feel like I don't even fight it. You know what I mean? Like when I'm at games, I never find myself wanting to like yell and scream and like
I don't yell and
that's not
scream.
even like
I don't.
remote. Sometimes if there's like a bad call or whatever, like
Right.
you'll see me like I'll throw my hand up and this. A funny story.
You mean for like a penalty?
For a penalty.
Yeah.
So I think I told this on the pod before, but when like not this past season, the season before,
Mm-hmm.
it was early on. We were at a tournament. It was very early on, very beginning of the season. We were at a tournament up in where's the Tim Hortons rink?
Buffalo?
No,
No,
not Buffalo. No,
Buffalo. Tim Hortons.
no, we were in Rochester.
It's a Tim Hortons rink.
There's Tim Hortons has something to do with it.
Okay, got it.
It was Rochester, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, they're like an upstate New York company. Yes, that makes sense. Or are they
Canadian.
a Canadian company?
Tim Hortons, Canadian.
So they came down into the U.S.
Yeah, but close enough.
But
when
it's
you're up
pretty
there.
north in the United States. They don't have a lot. They don't have
Rochester?
any by us, do they? Is there
One's
Tim Hortons right
opening.
here?
I think one's opening up in the city.
But they're just coming here now. Is my
think
point.
just
like
now.
they're
Yeah.
filtering down from up
yeah,
north.
but it's like I don't know. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm sure people are going to like be up in arms about it. But it reminds me of like it's like the Canadian equivalent of Dunkin' Donuts.
I thought so too.
Like I'm not
That
saying
was
one's
it's
better
just
than the other.
coffee and breakfasty stuff. No,
Yeah, I haven't been to one in a long time. Yeah, you know what? They have one in Penn Station, or they used to before they redid it. Yeah, 100% they did.
I see them a lot upstate, like Buffalo-ish area,
that's from
right?
Canada.
I know there's one in there's one attached to the Lecom Harbor Center, the Marriott
That makes
Lecom
sense.
Harbor Center
Yeah.
in downtown Buffalo.
Yeah.
Highly recommend you stay there if you're playing in Buffalo, by the way.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, Jamie recommends downtown.
I do.
I know.
Fuck yeah,
He's
I
a
do.
downtown kind of guy.
I do. Speaking of,
Wait, hold on. Let me just finish what I was going to say before.
Sorry, God, my bad.
Seriously.
My bad.
You know, it's the rink where oh right,
you're talking about Rochester, Tim Hortons rink.
No, but it's all the same rink where Bishop Kearney plays out of.
Oh, BK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so we were at that rink and it was way early on and I was like, keeping to myself and I was like on the other side of the rink and whatever.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine if I'm like on one end and we had parents on the team on the other end, but like opposite sides. So
Right.
we're looking at
You're
like,
staring at them.
like from like,
Across
a diagonal
the ice.
across the ice.
Yeah.
And it was so
Oh, they
funny.
were in the other opposite end,
The opposite
all the
end.
way
Yeah,
across.
so we could see each other through the glass,
But
whatever.
far away.
Right. But
Yeah.
anyway, so the play is like, I guess like coming towards me.
Yeah.
And there was like a penalty.
Right.
And the ref hadn't, and immediately I threw my arm up like this.
Yeah.
And
You saw another dad across the way?
And so then like it was like a moment or two later, then the ref throws his arm up. And the dads were saying, he's like, you totally got the ref to call that penalty.
Oh, they were watching from behind.
They saw me going like this,
Yeah, right. Oh, that's
And I was
funny.
like,
Hey, listen, you influence the game.
but that said, like that's what I would
Probably shouldn't be a thing.
no, but I
But
mean,
it happens all the time. When people start yelling,
but
from
that's the kind of
stands,
stuff
ref
that'll
puts his
do.
arm up.
Well, that's the kind of thing I would do. I never really got big into yelling and
Do you know what else I noticed? Speaking of like a delayed call from a ref, what I noticed from Dom's first year at hitting, with our first year at Bantam, I noticed that when sometimes when a kid gets hit,
only if he gets hurt do they call a penalty.
when he doesn't get up
Then they call a penalty.
immediately, sometimes an arm grab. Not all the time, sometimes.
That's bullshit.
Of course it is. It's like you're like, dude, like you didn't call, like you weren't going to call it,
Yeah.
but you see because the kid's staying down, and I got to tell you, sometimes kids stay down.
Right.
Because it's that we all know that kid.
Yeah.
That kid who just whenever he gets hit, he doesn't get up.
Right.
And the coach has to walk across the ice.
Yeah.
You know, or the coach is like, "Hey, Johnny, go fucking get the kid." You know, like to the assistant coach because they're like, "I'm not fucking walking across the ice with this kid again."
Right.
We all know that kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're younger, the kid that goes down.
It's definitely yeah.
And he's fine.
Right.
He's always fine.
Yes.
Right? For the most part.
For the most part.
Yes, for the most part, he's always fine. But yeah. But yeah. Yeah, no, it's that's funny. So you influenced the game.
I believe so.
Yeah. Sounds like you did.
Yeah. But why did we even talk about that? Why did I think to mention that?
I'm not sure. We were
Anything
talking
to do
about
with Rich Cohen?
I was gonna say we were talking about Rich Cohen. Do we know why we went off on that
Oh, we were
tangent?
talking about yelling, and that was when. And,
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh right, because Rich was saying how he turns into that lunatic.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely not me.
Me neither, by the way. I don't do that. I say very little. I'll be standing around other like hockey parents up in the stands. And I don't say, like, I'll give like a shoot, like, or if somebody gets tripped, I'm like trip, but I don't like yell it. I just say it out loud.
I'm not overly vocal.
No, me neither.
No, I keep to myself. Quieter.
You still putting on your earphones in the corner?
I haven't been at a game recently.
Gotcha.
But if I was at a game, I'd put on my earphones.
Oh, you would.
100%.
Oh, so you still do that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, listen.
You're like a loner in the corner.
No, I don't even go in the corner. I'll do it I'll sit I'll stand in the stands.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'll put up my hood and put in my ear pods, and then I'll listen to like Metallica,
Interesting.
specifically on Justice for All.
Oh, you just let that keep playing?
Yeah, I just listen to
On a
Justice
loop?
for All. Well, I mean, it usually get through the whole album and then a little bit.
Oh, you'll do the whole album?
Yeah, just play from the beginning to the end.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it finish perfectly with the end of the game?
No.
Ish?
No.
No?
But I actually.
What's longer, the game or the album?
The game is longer than the album. Wait, no. Well, that's a good question because on Spotify they have like a remix, like mastered remix, and then it goes into like no. When I would listen to like Linkin Park, the Linkin Park album would always finish before the game ended.
You listen to some heavy shit. Linkin Park, Metallica.
Yeah, I like
Heavier.
I like heavier stuff. It was so funny.
You still like that stuff, huh?
I still like that stuff.
Yeah, you
listen,
like the
but I
kids
don't
too.
listen to it all the time.
No?
No. Like we were listening to like Dave Matthews and like
That's a big difference.
Jack Johnson.
I thought you were going to say Janet Jackson. I was like,
No.
wow, that's
oh
a
no,
really,
but we
really
were listening to the Jackson 5.
Okay, Jackson 5 are good.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
Then, so that we, when we get in the car, everyone like, not all the time, but like, take a turn on what to listen. Like Noah was like, oh, let's listen to Jackson 5. And Otto was like, I don't really
Jackson
care.
5 are good.
Let's just like listen to whatever.
Right.
A, B, C.
It's a great song.
Easy as one.
It's a great song. They were tremendous, by
Tremendous.
the way. Oh, speaking of, Michael Jackson's got a thing out on Netflix. Did you see it?
Yeah. No, I didn't
Did
watch.
it come out yet? Or is it coming out this Tuesday?
I'm not sure, but
right.
I know it's coming out.
I know I saw it on
I'm kind of interested.
I am too. I'd be curious to hear that.
I heard the
So
Rafa,
good.
the Rafa Nadal documentary is good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'd watch that.
But so we're in the car and it was my turn to play music.
So that's what you guys do? You guys take turns?
Yeah,
controlling
sometimes
the tunes?
it depends
Okay.
on everyone's mood.
Got it.
And so I was like, oh, I got something that everyone is going to
The whole
enjoy.
family was in the car.
No, this was, no, Orly wasn't in the car.
Just you and the kids.
Just me and the kids. Last
Okay.
time Orly was in the car, I put on Method Man. And,
Wow.
And just to,
Okay.
no one except for me was really feeling it.
Not surprised?
No,
Not
but,
surprised
like,
at all.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I put on Slipknot, and then the opening. There's a song called Duality,
Okay.
and the opening line is something like I stick. Oh, now I feel like an idiot. Now I'm messing up. It's like something about sticking his fingers in his eyes.
Oh, lovely.
I stick my feet. Now I gotta look it up.
I was going to say, that's lovely, by the way.
Yeah.
You
And then
know?
Otto was like, no, we're turning this off, because I would make him listen to it sometimes.
Right.
Duality.
That's actually pretty funny. That's actually very
I don't know,
funny.
but I went to a Slipknot concert by myself, actually, not too long ago.
When are you going to that? Didn't you mention when we did Otto's going to a hockey tournament? Is it this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend. Why
Dominic-
is Slipknot playing?
Dominic was invited to the exact same hockey tournament.
So is he going to come?
No.
Why not? Yeah, there you go. I push my fingers into my eyes. That's what it is.
That's always lovely.
Yeah, but look, I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache.
You listen to such lovely music, Scott.
Listen, and whatever. I enjoy the song. It's a good pump up song.
You like Slipknot, huh?
Have you ever listened to this song?
No.
It's a good pump up song.
Yeah?
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to give a hard pass to that one.
No, I listened to it on the way home. Yeah, indoctrinate you to Slipknot.
You know.
No, okay.
You know,
whatever.
you listen to heavier stuff than I do. I was
Yeah, but-
never like a big
But that's not the
heavy
only
metal
stuff that,
guy.
like I was telling you, like I don't
Well, yeah,
listen.
then you said Dave Matthews, which is like an
Dave
entire
Matthews.
180 from Slipknot.
Jack Johnson we were listening to
Another
recently.
180, yeah.
You know who I actually like?
Who?
That Spit and Chicklets Biz is like big into. I think I don't know if they're Irish or English, but it's called Tenfe.
Okay.
Ten second word is Fe.
Okay, I don't know them.
It's chill.
Is it?
Yeah.
What kind of music?
I don't know if it's like kind of folky, like a little. I don't know.
Country-ish?
No. I'm not like a good like music describer
Understood.
person.
Neither am
but
I.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
I know what you mean. Okay, interesting. Tenfe?
Tenfe. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Give me a for instance. Is it like a Blues Travelers? Is it like a Maroon 5? I'm just throwing groups at you.
neither.
Neither. Is it like a Bon Jovi? Is it like
Bad medicine.
is it like a Billy Joel? Like give me like an example. You're looking it up. You're gonna say what is Tenfe like? Give me like a for instance.
It's a London-based band whose music falls under alternative indie rock, indie pop, synth pop.
What the fuck is synth pop?
Because there's some, I don't know,
We just keep making
sound
words
with
up.
atmospheric synths and ethereal guitars. Jesus, I don't know what that means
don't
really,
either.
but
What's at Fleetwood Mac down there? Hold on.
often compared to the mix.
Okay, so
but a
Fleetwood
mix of the War on Drugs and Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, so it's like Fleetwood Mac. Okay,
don't know.
interesting. My brother likes Fleetwood Mac. Was never a big fan.
Yeah, Zach Attack.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Zach's the man. He used to like Metallica.
He probably still does.
Good.
Yeah,
Should.
No, he probably still
I want to go
does.
see Metallica in the Sphere.
Oh, in Vegas.
I'm going to try to go.
When is it?
It starts in October.
Have you been to Vegas?
Once.
That's it.
Yep.
Nice.
Once.
Bachelor party.
Negative. Tony Robbins.
You went to Tony Robbins.
Yeah, we got like a free ticket.
You got a free ticket to a Tony Robbins convention
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
My buddy.
Tony Robbins is great.
Yeah, I went with my buddy Ron. Shout out Ron. And he had one of his friends was like in the business of selling like
Something.
and like he was able
He
to
had a
get
free
us,
ticket.
He got us 2 tickets to go to like some like business masterclass by Tony Robbins.
Oh no shit!
at
Where
the
was it
MGM.
held? It was held at MGM. So you
Yeah,
stayed
yeah.
at MGM and it was held at MGM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was great.
Okay. How long were you there for?
A couple of days.
You like it?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
How long ago? Long time?
Maybe like
10?
eight,
Oh,
10
okay.
years ago.
Gotcha.
Maybe at this point.
All right. No, MGM's nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
cool.
it was a good
cool
thing to
place.
like go check out.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Vegas is fun.
Now my buddy Ron lives there.
Does he?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not surprised actually to hear that because the outskirts of Vegas are exploding
Yes.
and everything looks brand new and it's nice.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's fucking hot there in the summer, dude.
I can only imagine.
Dude, I was there.
Yeah.
Dominic played the
The pre-break.
pre-break in Vegas. Oof. It was like right after
Killer, huh?
right after the 4th of July.
Ooh.
I think it was the week after 4th of July. Dude, it was
Like you can't stay outside.
and I know they all say like, oh, it's dry heat. I don't give a fuck how dry it is.
It's hot as fuck.
When it's 118 degrees, you don't give a shit if it's dry or moist.
But you listen, if you went between the two, you would notice a difference and you would care.
I'm
pretty
give a
sure
shit.
if you were in 100% humidity and it was 100 degrees versus 100 degrees and dry.
I'm assuming I would just be dripping as opposed to not dripping. But I have to tell you, regardless of whether it's dry or not, it's fucking hot.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like there are misters like on the street.
I thought
Just
when you said
putting, like-
misters, I thought you were talking about like men.
No, not misters like men. Misters like the apparatus to throw like water into the air.
Oh,
Yeah, and can I tell you, like
yeah.
when you go to the pool, like you cannot take. I was telling the story yesterday. It's so funny. I don't know how this came up yesterday, but you cannot take off like your flip flops
'Cause they'll
by
melt.
your chair and walk barefoot
it's
down.
too hot.
Because it's too hot.
Yeah.
You will burn the shit out of the bottom of your feet. I have to tell you, even in a pool,
I could have way worse problems than being concerned about whether my feet are going to get burned on my way into a pool in Vegas.
I mean, okay, fine. But my point is that I'll say this: our buddy Chris Vollmer and I,
Yeah.
when we were there for the pre-break in Vegas, I think it was called Kings of Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right.
Yeah, because I think Dom still has a sticker somewhere in his room. But and I got to tell you, I flew our Pacific rink bag there, no problems. Zero problems. The thing travels like a fucking rock star. The Pacific Rink hockey bag,
How do
like
rock stars
we've
travel?
taken that thing all over the place. What?
Yeah. Anyway,
But
go,
yeah. So we're sitting in the in Caesars in the water.
Did Caesar really live here?
Does Caesar live here? He's like, she's like, no. He's like, oh, I didn't think so.
Yeah. So, where's your bank of payphones? It was so funny. So when we were there with
I'm
Ron,
not getting a sig on my beeper. That's what he says to her.
Between Two Ferns is so funny. Anyway, I love the one with Jennifer Lawrence, and she basically,
Oh, when he was interviewing her?
yeah, and
She's so mean to him,
I
dude.
know, but he said to her, he goes, you shouldn't say that. That's off-putting. And she goes,
you should be off-putting.
off-putting. You're fat. It's so good.
He's like, I know. He's like, I know what you're saying. I know. She's like, you should be off-putting
You're fat.
because you're fat. He's like, I know what it means. Yeah, she
Dude, but I have a picture.
brutal to him.
I'll have.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, no, he's good. Yeah.
Who else? Anyway,
yeah.
But I have a picture of myself. So when we were at the pool, like at near one of the bathrooms over there, they still had a payphone.
Right.
So I have a picture of myself on a payphone
In Vegas?
Yeah, just because we were thinking about the
Yeah.
whatchamacallit.
Oh, that's funny actually that they have payphones. But yeah, don't go there in July.
No. Anyway.
Highly recommend you don't do that. Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
else? Oh, so we have NHL.
We do. Can I get something
Game
before we get
6
to the
tonight.
NHL?
Oh,
So
hundo.
I don't want to forget this. So
do you-
so our friend Keith Mondillo,
Yes,
who we had
Keith.
on episode 67,
60 something.
something like that. So our buddy Keith Mondillo is a Division III basketball coach, and he's also the athletic director of a school in the Philly area. So Keith is really good as far as like recruiting. You should go check out his stuff, keithmondillo.com. He's got a lot of really good stuff about like recruiting and college athletes, stuff like that. But he's been following this 5-for-5 rule. Okay. Which the 5-for-5 rule, was what episode was he, Scott? He was
67.
Yeah, I think so too. So Keith
6, 7.
so he's been following this 5-for-5 rule.
I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, I know.
You should shoot me.
So the 5-for-5 rule was saying that your eligibility clock
Yeah. Your 19th birthday.
It's the academic school year after your 19th birthday, whichever comes first. That was the original thought on it. Okay. So we were talking about how there were issues, right, with junior hockey, right, and people taking gap years or prep years. So apparently it was just revised. So the new rule says that your eligibility clock starts when you enroll in college, okay, or the start of the school year after your 19th birthday.
You just said that, no?
No.
Oh.
What I said at first was,
Oh, the difference. Yeah. Got you.
That's the difference. The difference is the 19th birthday part is still there. What changed is if you graduate high school as an 18-year-old, it doesn't start right then. Okay? It starts when you enroll in college on campus. Okay? Or the academic school year after the start of the academic school year after your 19th birthday. Again, whichever comes first.
Okay.
So apparently, hockey went to war with the NCAA when this came out, and they said, and apparently there were like the USHL commissioner Glenn Heffron, who we have had on this podcast, and the NAHL, the NAHL commissioner, and apparently all the commissioners from all the hockey conferences signed letters and went after the NCAA big time. Keith said that they went after them big time about how this is not going to work and this is going to crush junior hockey. So now you have a little bit of a window, okay? So it's not as aggressive of a start for hockey players as it was going to be. It's still aggressive, but it's not as aggressive, right?
Okay. Well, that's good.
Right. So, but again,
But
your clock will start, okay, when you enroll in college or the start of the school year after your 19th birthday. Your clock will start, period, end of story. There's nothing you can do to stop it. So it's up to you on how many prep years, how many gap years, how many juniors years you play, right? So for Dominic, for instance, Dominic's going to graduate high school because because he's doing 2 8th grade years. Dominic is going to graduate high school as a 19-year-old. So Dominic's window, if he wanted to play college hockey, will start the start of the school year after his 19th birthday.
okay.
So when Dom graduates in May, whatever it is, May, June, in high school, the window will start that following year.
So if
That
he
following
were to play
September.
junior, then he's just losing eligibility on that NCAA
Dominic
level.
plays 1 year of juniors. If he goes to, or if he stays and does 4 years of high school, right, in a local high school, he'll have 1 year of juniors to go play, and then he'll have 4 years of eligibility. Or you could leave after your junior year in high school, go play your senior year and another year
at junior.
at juniors. You played, so you get 2 years of juniors under your belt, and then you go
Right.
play 4 years, or you'll still have 4 years of eligibility left. So parents need to know this stuff,
Right.
Because it's going to affect prep schools, and it's going to affect colleges and eligibility. There's no more waivers for hardships. There's no more injury waivers. There's no more any of that. Your clock is your clock, and it's going to start regardless of whether you're on campus or not.
Right.
Right? Whether you're enrolled or not. If you wait till the start of the academic school year after your 19th birthday, your clock starts no matter what. They don't care. You can't go to them and ask for more time. They're getting rid of all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's changing. College sports is changing, and stuff's going to filter down,
Yeah, it will.
to Division II and Division III, and it's gonna be interesting. So you guys check out Keith Mondillo again. We had him on episode 67. We should have him back on. I was thinking to talk about the 5 for 5. Think that's a smart move?
Yeah, no, I think continuing to stay current, stay updated with it,
Yeah.
and bring people in that know more about it than we do would be
Keith's,
helpful.
He's very much on the ball with recruiting and getting your kid into school if they want to play college sports. And he's on the ball with all this stuff.
Right.
Keith's great. Yeah,
Dude,
go check out
good
episode
update.
67 if
Good
you
update,
haven't
dude.
if you haven't heard it already.
Yeah.
Keith's great.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Good update.
Yeah, man. Yeah, sorry, no, we're gonna roll to some NHL.
Oh yeah, NHL.
bad.
So we have Game 6 tonight, and
do.
this, man, I would love to see Vegas win just so we get one more game of ice hockey. What do you think about that?
I think Vegas will win tonight.
You do think so?
I do. I think they'll win tonight. And
You think Eichel's going to steal the show?
I think Vegas wins because they're at home.
Okay.
So, I misspoke, by the way, on our last podcast.
What'd you say?
I said that neither team won a home game.
Oh yeah, you did. I was watching.
When I got home, I was like, "What the fuck did I say?" I was wrong. They split. They both split at home. I don't know why I said that. When I got home, I'm like, "Holy fuck! Did I really say that?"
You can just make stuff up. It doesn't
Seriously,
matter.
apparently not.
Yeah, just make stuff
Apparently,
up.
I could just say whatever I want.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
You can. You clearly
Not
do.
a lot of credibility.
You do.
Clearly, I do. Yeah. So sorry, I stand corrected. So I think Vegas is going to win tonight, but I have to tell you, the Hurricanes goalie, the new
Bussy.
I got to tell
What
you,
a story, man.
What
It's
a
hard
story
not to
is
cheer
right.
for this dude.
Holy shit! He played 111 AHL games.
Unreal.
I mean, the guy's talk about I don't want to say a journeyman, but talk about we always talk about like a different path. Holy crap!
Yep.
That guy's path's ridiculous.
No doubt. It just didn't give up.
Just kept cranking, man.
And it comes back to when you're not giving up, because why? Why are you not giving up?
Now he's getting
You probably got to love it, don't you?
You do have to love it.
You got to love it.
Doug Christensen says it all the time.
Otherwise, you're
Right.
going to move on to different pastures.
Right.
And that's like when we talked to Zachariah Thomas, when he was playing in that league, and he was just saying, like, I'm playing with like men that have families and they love it. It was clear they loved it more than I did.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was pretty eye opening for him.
Yeah.
I think Pat Shea had the realization of that too when he was playing in the.
Didn't you get the sense from him that it was like that he? Well, yes, but it had to do with like how he had to take on a different role at Maine, and then he said after he finished up and he was out, then he was just like, F it, I'm going to play my game,
I'm going to go do my thing,
and he started to enjoy it more. But I think that some ships might have sailed by
by then, yeah,
I forget exactly why, but
yeah. But you could see he maybe wasn't. Well, I think he actually said on our podcast in the interview, he said he's like, it was always the dream to get to the NHL. He's like, but was it my dream or was it somebody else's dream?
Well, look, but that's also kind of like society too, a little bit, right? Because like you always see commercials of like little kids dreaming of being in Game 7 of whatever series, and so that's that's just the way also kids talk about how many kids when you're young and you're playing in the maybe it's different now, but oh man, this is I can't wait to be in juniors.
Right. Yeah.
I can't wait to go to,
you don't hear that.
I can't wait to go to the OHL.
Juniors.
I can't wait to go play D3 club.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
It's always like, I can't wait when I'm in the NHL.
No, it's true. Listen, it takes, there's a lot of like stick-to-itiveness that's there. You got to just
But that's what Zachariah Thomas said also. And that's part of the different, what differentiates people is not necessarily the skill on the ice, it's what you got between your ears.
It's true.
And the skill is developing your ability to continue to keep
just
on
keep
keeping
going.
on.
Yeah, no, it's
keep
true.
going. The mental
you're right.
toughness.
Not easy.
No.
Definitely not easy. Yeah, Zachariah was a good interview. You guys should go listen to episode 70.
Swift hockey.
Zachariah
You'll learn a thing or two about hockey sticks.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
I was talking yesterday. I was telling you we had a game yesterday. I was talking to the goalie dad, Johnny Mack, and I mentioned to them. So he brought up the interview, right? So he was talking about it. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, how funny was the goalie stick part? He's like, dude. He's like, how nuts was that? He's like, they put out 200 sticks. He's like, and they all broke
in 24
He's
hours.
Like, they all just broke. That's nuts, by the way. And I'm like, and I remember asking Zachariah, I'm like, where did they break? He's like, everywhere.
Everywhere and
anywhere.
But look, then 2 years of development. 2 years later, he sent everyone new sticks,
which is so stand up, by the way.
Yeah,
they refunded and sent the new stick.
doubt.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Cost them a lot of money.
Yeah, it did.
But super stand up. That's the right way to do shit.
No doubt. But I guess just more to the point is that 2 years later.
Yeah.
It's came through, and it's not 2 years later. Here's the bag of chips that we didn't get right. It's here's a brand new hockey goalie stick.
Right.
You know
what that makes me think? When we come out with our CHD merch, which is coming soon.
Oh, good drop.
We have to not have it be defective.
Why would what?
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, that would be true for anything that
yeah. But that's
put our names
that's
to.
what that makes me think of. We have to make sure it's not defective gear.
Yeah, that's an important check to
Luckily,
box.
we're not doing
or box to check.
Oh yeah, that too.
I said check to box.
Yeah, I gotcha. It happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it does. But we have to make sure our gear is not defective.
Yeah, that's a good point,
we don't want
Captain
our stuff,
Obvious.
We don't want our stuff to break.
No.
Listen.
When was the last time you broke a hat? What planet do you come from?
I'm trying to think if I've ever broken a hat. So it depends on the hat.
I guess.
Like I have baseball hats. I have the snapbacks, which you know sometimes you pull too much and the things pop off.
Why do you have to adjust it? Your head grows? You fucking get like,
I mean,
it's like, I'm at the rink and my brain is swelling. It hurts so bad from
So I
seeing
need
the
to make
shit
my
on the
hat
ice.
bigger.
I need to make room for my brain to explode in my hat.
So all right, so I will say this:
Yeah.
I have had to adjust a bunch of my hats because I'm growing my hair out.
Okay.
And I have actually had to do it recently. I have not
That's
broken
fair.
any of the snaps.
That's fair.
But do you remember back in the day when you were a kid, you break the snaps?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why would you break the snap? Why or was it just like a fidget thing that you were just
It was
cranking
probably
on
a
that
fidget thing
back
when
in
you
the
were a
day?
kid.
Yeah, because those things broke easily.
When you get older, I've adjusted my hats when my hair's gotten shorter in the back.
Yeah, that I have
sure.
had to do. You know,
Yeah.
there's no question about that. Growing your hair out is an experience.
Yeah. How long are you gonna let it grow out?
Super awkward phase right now.
But what are you going for?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
I'm
you.
not sure
I need
either.
the sides to get longer, you know. So it's a work in
You
progress at the moment.
still have a nice thick head of hair.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. You're
Yeah.
a lucky guy.
No complaints.
Not everyone can say that.
They can't.
No.
complaints. You know, my buddy Matt, he's like he talks about balding all the time, and I'm like, I can't relate.
I've been using Rogaine.
Have you?
Yeah.
Come on.
I swear
You
to God.
need it?
To help with see how my hat's pulling, like the receding hairline situation here.
Okay. I mean, listen.
But I will say, here's a hack.
But you have a thick head of hair, no?
It's not, my hair's not very thick. It's
No?
more,
I mean, it's not bad.
no, now I'm getting all messed up here.
So using Rogaine, should we reach out to Rogaine to be a
We can reach
sponsor
out
on
to
the
Rogaine.
pod?
No, but dude, this is the trick, and I actually think this is working better.
Right.
Working better because you get the foam.
You're not going to get the plugs?
What?
The plugs?
Go on like some
hair plugs?
some Turkish like.
Don't they have like
med spa.
implants that they could do?
Yeah, but that's like they insert like individual hairs into people's heads.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Do you need to do that?
No, I don't need to do anything.
Oh, okay. So is the Rogaine working?
So
I've never used it, so I don't know.
So I originally started using the foam, which is just like it's like a
spray?
mousse. It's like a mousse.
Okay.
And like you put it in your mousse.
And
you
is
know?
it supposed to like initiate hair growth?
Yeah, it's supposed to stimulate or whatever it
In
does.
areas that's
minoxidil.
not growing?
No, only in areas that.
Wait, what was that word? The what?
Minoxidil?
Minoxidil. What's the minoxidil?
That's the active ingredient. In
Get out of
Rogaine.
here.
Yeah.
Got it. Learn something every day.
Yeah.
There you go, parents and dads. I'm assuming moms don't use Rogaine,
Yeah.
right? Moms use Rogaine too.
They
Isn't that a
can.
product for men.
It's not just for men because just for men's a whole nother
I was
product.
just gonna say we just dropped the name of another product.
We need Keith Hernandez. Where's Keith Hernandez?
I was like,
when
wait a
you need
minute,
him?
just for men. That's another product,
It is just for men.
and it's a hair product.
No, it's not just for men. God, I'm getting confused.
But isn't just for men a hair product as well?
Yes, it dyes your
All right,
hair.
so talk to me about
Your
Rogaine.
beard. Rogaine.
Oh, it dyes your hair.
Yes,
That's what it does.
come on.
I haven't done that, by the way.
Well, neither have I. Why?
Yeah.
Anyway, you do different hair care treatments to yourself.
I do.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
yeah, no, I just take the hair down on my body.
Yeah.
It's super long. It's called manscaping.
manscaping. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's a whole nother episode
Yes.
we can get into. Anyway, so let me just finish my goddamn.
Got to make sure you mow the lawn.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Go ahead.
Fucking Christ.
Go ahead. Rogaine.
Mow your lawn.
Your minoxidil. What'd you call it?
Minoxidil.
Minoxidil. Go ahead.
So in
continue.
any event, this is the hack.
Okay.
The hack is I first got it in the foam, the mousse, and I'd spray it,
Roger
and
that.
then I would just like massage it into my head,
Roger-
like in the
okay.
spots where the receding hairline or
Got it.
whatever.
Got it. It's not supposed to be all over, or it's just in the areas where you.
God damn it. Let me
I'm just
finish.
trying to learn about
But
Rogaine.
you're not. If you close your ears and
not that
listened,
I need it, but I'm.
you would.
I can hear Jimmy. I can hear Jimmy.
Listen, for someone that says they listen to audiobooks, I'm not so sure how much you actually take in.
I do.
Okay, listen. So I started with, how many times have I said this? If you had a dollar for every time I said it, you'd at least have lunch money right now. So listen, I started with the mousse. I put it in my hand and read the directions, and it just says to work it into the area where you need a treat, right? And then my wife was like, "You really need to get it in there." And she's like, "You should use a toothbrush." I think she saw it on Instagram or something, using a toothbrush
Yeah.
to kind of
to get in the fine areas.
And
Sure,
I actually tried that, and it was not very pleasant. Toothbrush bristles, didn't like it, whatever. And then I was like, you know what? F this. If I'm putting this in my hair to like help like have a fuller head of hair. I
Right.
just like went whole hog and I put it like all in my head.
Like shampoo.
I
Like
just,
you were shampooing
I
it
filled
up.
my hand like I had, and I just like, ooh,
Everywhere.
worked it. Oh, Jesus.
Just everywhere.
I worked it in everywhere.
Right.
And then,
Just went to town.
and then fine. So, but then it's like a little, so now I have, that was like going through a lot of product, you know, and it was like,
can imagine,
it's
yeah.
not- so then my wife got, they have like liquid form that doesn't like foam up, and
Okay.
you can get like these like from Amazon, just like, you know, ever see deodorant that has like the ball at the end of it, like the
Yes, the
rolling
roller
ball,
ball, yeah,
the
sure.
rolly ball.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can buy little like little rolly ball things, and you
Mm-hmm.
can fill it up with liquid. So now I have a rolly ball thing that I filled with like the liquid version of Rogaine, and I apply it much more easily
roller ball.
With the roller ball, because the mousse kind of like, you know, it kind of sticks to your hair and it doesn't go all the way down to your scalp,
scalp,
as
which
easily,
is where you need it.
as easily.
Okay,
a lot
got
of it's
it.
just getting caught up in my hair. So because it's liquid form and the roller ball, dude, this is the
way to go?
This is the 1-2 punch.
The rollerball's the way to go.
Roller ball's the way to go, homie.
Got it.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there you go, boys. Just in case you need a little Rogaine tips.
There you go.
So is it working?
I think a little bit. I'm not like,
You
it's not
notice hair growth in areas where you didn't have?
like a little bit. Like nothing that made me think this is a miracle drug, but enough to think like I'll keep doing it because it looks like something it's a little better than nothing.
Got it. Maybe we'll do a segment on, man care.
Balding?
No, just man care.
Man care? You want to do a segment
Just
on
we'll
man
do
care?
just for men. Just to color the beard, and then we'll do. You can do
I'm
the
not coloring
Rogaine
my
part.
beard. You're going to color your beard?
I wasn't going to.
No way.
I wasn't going to.
Don't do it.
I wasn't going to. I wasn't planning to.
No, me neither.
Like, people ask me when I'm going to dye my hair. I'm like,
Why?
I'm not.
Why would you dye your hair?
I don't. I'm not. I don't want.
Who asked you that?
This chick that used to cut my hair. She's like, when are you going to come in and have it dyed? I'm like, never.
Yeah.
She's like, why? Men do it. I'm like, okay, not this dude.
Totally.
I'm like,
She's trying to upsell you,
yeah.
homie.
I was like, no.
She's trying to upsell you,
She
dog.
might. It's very possible. You know, can I just tell you? Like, she does not cut mine and Dominic's hair anymore. Can I just tell you? Oh my God, Scott.
You're going through barbers a dime a dozen?
Can I tell you? Like, I remember Dominic got his hair cut by her one day. Like,
It came out like Lloyd Christmas and Dumb and Dumber.
bro, he had
Fucking bowl cut?
Dominic had bangs like
Straight
here.
bangs across his
And
forehead.
I look at her and I go,
What
I
are
go-
you doing?
I go-
I'm not paying for that.
I go, he looks like a girl. She goes, don't say that. That's not true. I go, yeah.
Yeah.
I go, he has bangs. I go, what the fuck is that? I was like, and that was the last time I went to her. I was not there again.
But this
ever.
was a new woman after the other woman.
Yours?
No.
Mine?
Yours.
No.
Like you had a woman is that why she stopped
That's why
working with
I
her?
stopped going there. Yeah. Dom's hair was pretty jacked up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we
Otto's going for a new haircut.
is he?
Yep.
Oh, he is.
Oh yeah.
He mentioned it.
He
to
is.
me.
He's committed to he's gonna buzz.
He said that.
But buzz the head.
Right.
Not to the skin.
Not only is he going to buzz it though.
but then he's gonna bleach it.
right.
And then he's gonna
said this.
like tint it pink.
yes, he said this.
And I said, okay.
You did.
Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit.
Interesting.
It's hair.
It is hair.
I mean, if he wants
it
to,
does grow back.
if he just wants to, I don't care.
It definitely does grow back.
I don't care. Have
Yeah.
fun with your hair. I mean, dude, I'm
definitely does.
not going to the salon with you, but like, you know, have fun.
Definitely- Oh, I guess that has to be done by. Oh, the wife's not doing it.
No,
He's doing that
no,
by a
she's not. She's
professional?
not. She doesn't
Professionals
like
can
the
do that.
bleaching part. Yeah,
No,
not
that's
gonna-
true. Interesting. Listen, so we'll put a picture up of Otto on our
Before and
Instagram.
after?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Might
have
as well.
long hair Otto, short hair Otto,
and pink hair Otto.
pink hair Otto.
Yeah.
He's dyed his hair before. Like
well, his hair's dyed right now. No.
well, he put like sun in.
Okay,
and
so it's
like,
bleached-ish.
It's like orangey, yellowy,
Yeah,
orangey.
yeah, it's that sun in
That
color.
sun in look.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
cool for the summer. Nothing wrong with that.
It's whatever.
Oh, it's gonna be pink for the summer.
Apparently.
Lovely.
But not for that long either, because when you cut it short, it's just going to start, you'll see the roots quickly.
Listen, real men wear pink.
I see that. You're wearing pink today.
I am actually.
Yeah.
There you go.
Handsome.
Yeah. What can I tell you?
I don't know, man. What do you think? You want to wrap this one up?
We can 71 in the books. There was a
but
lot
wait,
of
hold
fun.
on.
What do we forget?
Let's just finish up with the NHL. We got so sidetracked. So game 6 is tonight. You think Vegas
do.
is going to win?
I do.
I also think Vegas is going to win.
And then who wins Game 7?
And then I think game 7. I think
In
it's
Carolina.
I think it's going to be Carolina.
You do.
I do.
I think Vegas is going to win in Carolina.
You think they're going to win these next 2 games?
I do. I think they're going to find a
That would
way
be
to
really
beat
rough.
Bussy.
That would be rough.
It would be rough.
Well, we're going to find out tonight.
Listen, I did say I was going to go 7 when we started this. I'm close.
Yeah.
But listen, Carolina's also playing very well, so nothing surprises me.
Jordan Stahl is like, what a story, this guy. There's so many good stories, like the Marner,
Yes.
like
No, it's very cool.
like the Marner thing,
Yes.
like even if they don't end up
Yeah.
winning it,
Yeah,
you know, all that stuff. Like he's just proven he can be an elite player on the biggest stage.
no question
You know,
about
so
that.
like good on him. That's great. Bussy, great story.
Great story.
Stahl,
Yep.
great story.
Yeah.
Like all of it.
Yeah, and Tortorella's done after this, right?
Tortorella's done.
Which is wild. He's
Yeah.
just going to hang it up after this. I mean,
Who knows?
yeah,
I mean,
listen, I guess you
whatever.
can always change your mind too.
You can always change your mind.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just cheering for a game 7.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking
right.
forward to more hockey. All right, dude, that was fun. 71 in the books.
In the books.
See you next time.
Yep. Thank you all for listening.
Later.